Let me know. That should fix all of those issues you guys were having out there. Mad Guy, Trent. Yeah, are we back? I think we're back, you guys. Mad Guy, let me know if that fixed your lag issues. I had a beta setting turned on. Leave a scene as I have. Jawser, but I'm back. I'm back. Jawser26, you are incredible. Thank you so much for being here. Sunny Amber 17, thank you so much for being here. Mad Guy, Bubbles the Monkey, LP Music, all of you incredible, incredible Stardust meatballs out there. How do you kappa? Well, here, let's check out the instructions. We're going to check out the instructions. How to kappa. One does not simply kappa. You just kappa. Angle of face must be at 60 degrees, where 90 degrees is facing straight forward. Important, no words. Kappa is all that is needed. Hair must look like this. Height must also be height. Notice unusual pursing of lips, as if using self-restraint. Jazzer26, thank you so much for being here. All of you guys are incredible. 12 minutes. Frigid is keeping that countdown going. Frigid is first. That's why he's like, I'm excited. I'm excited here. If you guys haven't seen the Kappa mosaic, let me post a link to the Kappa mosaic. There's so many Kappa on here. There's so many that we even forgot a few. Amalith, hers didn't make it on here, so we're gonna have to make a new prototype. And there's so much I want to tell you guys, but I don't know if it's confidential. So I'm just gonna say, oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my gosh, you guys. There is an absolute revolution going on here on Twitch, and we are all a part of it. That's all I can say. That's all I can say right now, you guys. It's confidential. But we're part of an incredible community here on Twitch. We're doing amazing things together, and the world is going to see what we're doing. The world is going to see what we're doing here on Twitch. There are so many Kappas. And if you guys take a look at... Bam. I know there's so many secrets. I want to tell you guys everything. I want to tell you guys everything that's going on, everything that's going to happen. But I don't know everything that's going to happen. I don't know. But there's so much cool stuff. Let me say that. And to any of you guys who made your Kappa, please do not put them on Etsy or Redbubble. Or do any commercial sales of your Kappa. You can do a one-off sale of a hobbyist work where you just sell one piece. Maybe you sell the original, but please do not sell your Kappa commercially. We're working with Twitch to work out the copyright infringement. They have to rewrite a bunch of rules and re-sign a bunch of contracts. But right now, please guys, don't post your Kappa on Etsy, eBay, Redbubble. Don't do any commercial sales of your Kappa yet. We want to get to the point where we can make our money off the Kappa. Maybe you have a Kappa sculpture and your Death Sculpt, and you can make a bunch of molds of your Kappa now. We really want to get it so that you guys can support yourself off of your Kappa. But right now, non-commercial sales are okay, meaning you can sell it as a hobby. You're doing one, maybe selling the original, but please do not post commercialized work of your Kappa. We're working on it. We're doing our best, absolutely doing our best here, working with Twitch staff to support you guys. You can sell the original Kappa. Well, you technically can't sell the original Kappa because the original Kappa is Josh, and I don't think Josh wants you to sell him. I don't know. That's something you could work out with Josh specifically. Although he's actually said he doesn't have time to approve each of these. So just wait for it. I'm doing my best right now, talking to Twitch staff as much as I can to try to get us the support to sell our work. Because look at all of these beautiful Kappa. Look at all the beautiful Kappa. Even Giant Waffle made a Kappa. Cannon Bears made some Kappa. Lady Aim. I forget, Bladed Fuentes? No, that's not Bladed Fuentes. There's so many Kappa on here. I gotta get them labeled. Sand Titan, how you doing? Fire Dragon, how are you doing? LP music. That's something we got to work out with Twitch. And Josh, you're absolutely right. Um, I don't know how I would feel if a bunch of random people on the internet made art of me. Um, but if you look at it, all it is that we're supporting our passion, we're supporting our love. So I'm sure they're gonna be down to do it. They just have to rewrite a bunch of stuff. So we can't do it now, but eventually. The Mega Man one. Where's the Mega Man one? Boom, Mega Man. This is ICMZ. ICMZ also made this. Check out this shirt, you guys. Also made by the same artist. Also made by the Mega Man guy, ICMZ. Awesome broadcaster here on Twitch. You should definitely give him a follow. Why aren't all these broadcasters modded in my channel? Mod? Fire Dragon. By the way, to anyone who I've ever modded, all of my mods in my chat, I would love if you took a look at my rules. As a mod, I don't require you to actually moderate or editorialize, but I do ask if you see anything that I don't allow in my chat to do that, and also please ask permission from me before posting links, even though you're a even though you're a mod. Proper Artist, how are you doing, Proper Artist? You incredible, awesome human being. Totally incredible. 11:53, you guys. Alright, so I'm gonna go to the bathroom. I'm gonna go take a bio break. And then we're gonna be back. I'm gonna leave you guys with all of the Kappa. I'm gonna leave you guys with the Kappa here. Real Wizard, how are you doing? I'll be back. Oh no! Well, first off, hang on, let me see if I can fix this. Pigeon Milk, thank you so much for that follow. Pigeon Milk, you are an awesome broadcaster here on Twitch. I cannot wait to see what you're going to do next. Let me see, can I... Okay, similarity 100. Boom. Pigeon Milk, thank you so much for that follow. Everybody, please give Pigeon Milk a follow. He just started here on Twitch. Give him that follow, give him some love. I'm going to be back in 130 seconds. 130 seconds. Alright, I'm going to be back. We're going to be back. Alex Arrow, thank you so much for the follow. You are an incredible meatball made of stars, and together the monsters who can do anything with the amalgam of consciousness here on Twitch. You are an incredible, being made of star matter. Thank you. I'll be back. Alright. So let me talk about what we're gonna do today. I hope you guys are having a wonderful rotation on this fine planet we like to call Earth. Broadcaster announcements, Feedback Friday. So, here is the thread we are going to be discussing in about 4 minutes. Oh, my webcam. Turn on my webcam. Why is everything so weird? What is going on? What just happened? Weird. Weirdness. Strange. Strange. Alright, so what we're going to be talking about first today. Friday. If you guys didn't, you guys counted Sunny Amber. I gave you double the estimate, I guess. I gave you double the estimate. So today is Friday. It might be Saturday where you live. It might be Mars Day if you live on Mars. I don't know. But here in the Mossiverse, it's Feedback Friday. Feedback Friday is all about getting your work up on the screen and giving you blatant praise, constructive criticism, and inspiration on your work. So you guys, please stay kind and positive, be constructive, and stay awesome. You can reply to the thread that I posted in there. We already have a bunch of people. Oh my gosh, we already have a bunch of people. Make sure to keep it PG. Your work can't break terms of service, so no sexual stuff, no stuff like that. No gory stuff if you can do it. We're going to be doing this for a few hours. I usually say 12 to 2 p.m. We've gone for 4 hours before when we have about 4 pages of work. It's Rebecca Black today. Oh my gosh. Absinthe. Absinthe. I want to say you are mean. You are mean. You just brought back that video into my life. And by the way, guys, please follow anybody with a mod sword. If we're sharing work and they're a broadcaster, please give them a follow. It shows your support, not only for the art, but for Twitch as well. You guys are absolutely incredible, so we're gonna get started here. We're gonna get started here. Frigid. Boom. Let me make sure this is safe for work. Is it safe for work? I don't know, you guys. I don't know, you guys. Alright, it is safe for work. We're good. Save image as. So thank you guys so much for being here today. I know I haven't been here in a few days, and I haven't been hanging out on Twitch. So you guys are going to have to fill me in on all the cool stuff you're working on. Feedback Friday. So this is Frigid. Oh, what are you doing over the chat? There we go. It's super safe. X-Absent. I didn't like your song. Of course I didn't like your song. I can't give any blatant praise or positive feedback on that song. What are you doing here? What is this guy doing? He's doing something nefarious. It's 12 o'clock. Siri, you are so kind. So one thing we're going to do, because it's 12 o'clock, you guys, we're going to open up Feedback Friday. We're going to get this open. Oh my gosh, it's giant penguin. Let's see, can I go... Boom, boom. Okay, cool. Alright, so guys. One thing about Feedback Friday. Oh, I think all the windows are fixed. Thank you, Sir Danley, man. Thank you. I know. I'm getting a better computer setup here very shortly. So we're gonna be getting better stuff here. So it's 12 o'clock, you guys. Put down your keyboards, put down your brushes, do some stretches. If you want, you can even get up out of your seat and stretch out. It only has to be for a few seconds, just long enough for you to take a break, step back from your art, your music. If you're Richie X27, you don't want to be sitting out there playing guitar for 24 hours straight. You're going to hurt your arms, so do some stretches. Mad Guy, I am so glad to hear that. I turned on the beta reduce stream delay, and I forgot to read that it says may experience buffering for users with connections like that. So Richie, Mad Guy, Sir Danley, man, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm gonna put 3 minutes on the clock. Richie's like, nah, I know how to take breaks. I'm a master of breaks. And by the way, if you guys don't know Richie, please give her a follow. She does some awesome music in the music section. Where do you post? So, to post your work for Feedback Friday, I'll give you the thread. Boom. This is where you can post your work. We're definitely going to get to the first 2 or 3 pages worth of work. Once we get to that 4th page, it's going to be a toss-up in the air if I'm going to be getting to them or not. And it's first come, first serve. If you're not here when I pull up your image, You're going to go to the back of the line, unfortunately, because I want to get to people who are here. So it is 12:02. Let's do the first one. 3 minutes on the clock. And remember, guys, be kind, be constructive, and stay awesome. This is Frigid. Frigid, are you out there, Frigid? Follow this man. Follow Frigid. I just recently convinced him to start doing some tutorials for new streamers. I'm very excited to see it. It's going to be one of his niches. I mean, he's also an awesome artist here, as you can see. So Frigid, if you're out there, we're going to talk about you. If you're not out there, we're just going to have to skip you. And Mad Guy, absolutely. You can post it even if you're a broadcaster. If you're just a viewer, you can also post it. The thread is right here. We're going to go 3 minutes on the clock. I'm going to ignore chat just for a little bit so I can talk about this work. And then we're going to go through your comments and your questions. Frigid, if you have any questions for me, just at Monkey on Strike and ask me a question. Here we go. Bam. Oops, 45 minutes. I'm not going to give you a 45-minute crit. That would be painful for both of us. 3 minutes on the clock. All right. So one thing, the first thing I notice about this piece is that the wonderful expression you have on the penguin. I remember when you were doing this, you were asking people, what should I draw? I'm tired of drawing birds. And then someone's like, let's draw a penguin. Because you like the beaks. And you do give a lot of attention to the inside of the beak. One thing, the beak does get a little lost from the hair. The beak is going to be kind of like the eyes, in that it's going to have that specular highlight, because it's more shiny than, let's say, fur. So one thing you could consider doing is bringing a specular highlight on the beak as well. That's something to consider. You don't have to. If I can actually do it. Yeah, there we go. One thing so that would help the beak pop out from the fur. It would give it a nice contrast from the texture. I really like the detail you've put in the hair on the edges. One thing you could play around with is you don't want to bring that same exact line quality onto the inside, but there are some areas where you could add some texture in here if you wanted to, just to give it more dimension. When you just outline the outline of the shape and you don't do anything to the inside, what your eye is going to do is it's going to follow along here. Your eye is going to follow along the edge, but it's not going to go into the inside, into the details. So to bring your eye into the inside, and since you already have the texture here, you could just do just a few marks where there's just some hair on the inside for your eye to bounce around and really see the whole thing. Really like the gradient and the fur you have here. It's really subtle on the belly, and then you get darker and darker as it blends up into here. You could always do some highlights as well. Maybe you do the same kind of highlight you have on the eye here, just in a few places, so you get that texture as well on the inside. I really like the form, very, very playful. The colors are really great. Frigid, I'm not going to do 45 minutes. Frigid, let me know if you have any questions. Great job on this. Really, really dig the green color to contrast with that gray, the cool gray. I love what you did with the details inside the mouth. Make sure you do different treatment on the different surfaces. So the beak is going to be smooth and reflective. The hair is going to be more diffused light on it. Awesome stuff. Really great job. One question. What's a good name for this penguin? Guys, chat, help me out. I need help, chat. What are we going to name this penguin for Frigid? Frigid. I kind of like that frigid implies cold. So maybe it's something that implies cold, like... Let me think here. Cube. Cubey. We're going to call him Cubey. I don't know. That's a bad name. You guys need to help me. Happy. Happy's a good one. Frank. Frigid Jr. I like Frigid Jr. Frigid Jr. is a good one. Frank the Penguin. Alright guys, please follow Frigid. He's an awesome broadcaster. He does some really fun stuff with the viewers. He's always interacting with his chat. Cappy Feet. Cappy Feet. I actually kind of like that. Cappy Feet. Or Cappy. Alright, Dino, are you here, Dino? Yuki! I kinda like Yuki. It means snowy in Japanese. Yuki. Followed. Awesome, Richie. You're gonna really enjoy Frigid. He's really big into WoW. He's done drawings of orcs. So really fun and entertaining dude. Really enjoy what you're doing here. Bring more details into the center of the piece. So your eye can really follow all the forms, because you have all this nice subtlety in here that you want your eye to be drawn to. Great stuff. Great stuff. Dino. I don't see Dino out there. I think we're going to have to skip Dinos for now. We're going to go to ASDF. D. Hoffman. When Dino pops back in here, we're going to go over yours. Frigidus. Actually, there we go. There we go. That's the name. Frigidus. I am Frigidus. D. Hoffman, are you ready, D. Hoffman? That's the question. You got a newer version. Okay, well, we're going to skip it. We're going to skip it then. Let me know when you get that newer version. Edit the post. Let me know. Ink One, unfortunately, if Ink One is listening, I'm down to do it. I know he said he was going to lurk and listen. Ink One, can you hear my voice? He got the bag. And Pigeon Milk, absolutely we are going to give you some follows, Pigeon Milk. You are a new broadcaster out there. The first 10, the first 20 broadcasters are always the hardest to do. Ink One is here. Okay, Ink One, we're going to do yours right now, since we're waiting for 2 other people. Ink is here. Wonderful, wonderful. So this is a Joker piece inspired by proper artist, I think. Well, inspired by the Joker, of course, but inspired by proper artist. Alright, alright. 100%. Alright, guys, we're going to put 3 minutes on the clock. Ink One, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. 3 minutes on the clock. Let me look at it first. Last time I didn't look at it. It's got the Jared Leto gloves. I love that purple. Awesome, Pigeon Milk. And one thing, please submit just one work. So if you've submitted multiple works, you can go back and edit your post. Or when I pull up your pieces, just let me know which one you want to talk about. The Squint of Destiny. If you guys don't know why I squint, it's not because I need glasses. It helps me read the colors. Alright. Make fun of me all you want. Purple is the best. It is. Alright, so guys, I'm not ignoring you. We're going to be talking about the piece, though. So if you want to do any criticism, please be kind, be constructive, and stay awesome. 3 minutes on the clock. Here we go. Ink One, you have some lovely forms in here. One of the really cool things is that it's got this really flat plane for the foreground, and the 2 figures really intertwine to make that flat foreground right in your face, right there. I really love the composition and the style on it. There is something with the eyes. I'm not sure if the eyes are necessarily looking the right way. It doesn't matter. It absolutely doesn't matter. One thing with these eyes, they look like they're looking up, and the Joker's looking like right at you. So I really, really dig his eyes. He's staring down. He's staring you down right in your soul. If you wanted her to be looking right at you, you could drop the pupil a little bit. But I actually really like that she's kind of focused off the canvas and off the page. I really like that that aspect. Great job on the skin tones. Wonderful, wonderful subtlety in the changes. You have really nice oranges, reds, some maroons in there. The purple that you're using is phenomenal. You really have that reflectivity. And one thing I'd actually recommend, even more so, especially on surfaces like latex gloves, you're going to find that you're going to have those really bright highlights. So you could go with a really bright purple to get the really, really shiny highlights to give it that really like that shininess to the gloves. That'll help it stand out from all of the other textures. And of course, these are opinions. You don't have to do them. You probably wouldn't bring that same highlight onto the jacket. I really like how you have the treatment on the jacket. One thing you do want to make sure though is you put all this time into the line work. You want to be informed when you're doing your color stuff. Be informed by the line work. So something like this, where the fabric is affected by those folds there, you want that color to wrap around those edges, to really move in those edges. If you have them kind of like a flat wash behind it, it's not going to give that illusion of being 3D. So just a few, like this line that kind of comes down here, but isn't impacted by the 3 folds, something like that, all you'd have to do is bring up some of the highlight like that, or make some of the shadow more intense underneath the folds. Like this. That'll really bring the forms together. It'll make it feel like it's not just line work and then paint on top. You're using the line work to really create the illusion of form, and even back here you could bring some shadow as well. Like that in the jacket. I really like all the different surfaces. You have a really nice quality to the makeup you're using on their faces. Really like all the treatment in the skin tone. Really cool stuff. For her hair, it does seem a little flat compared to the rest of the painting. Although I really like how it turns into that blue right here. That's really cool. For her hair, one thing you could do is maybe just bring kind of a brown for the shadows, or maybe even a different color for the shadows. You could use that blue. I think you want to add just a little bit of some shading and some highlights like you have in the Joker's hair up here. You could bring some shadows maybe on the right side here like that. Because right now what it does is it's kind of flattening out to that mid-tone. So you could bring in highlights and shadows to make it really give it that dimension to it. Excellent pose. Really dig the composition. Great job with that twist in the pose. You've really captured that. You really have your style embedded in the piece here. Let me know if you have any questions, Ink. Great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. Make sure to, when you're doing color, to be informed by your line work. So like somewhere here on the sleeve, you're just going to use the line work to define the form with the colors as well. Great stuff. Really dig it. Everyone should give Ink1 a follow. Follow Ink1. Follow this amazing Stardust meatball. If you guys are new, you guys haven't been to Feedback Friday before, we're talking about all of your work here. Talking about all of your work, so please feel free to post your work on the thread here. And thank you so much for sharing, Ink1. Absolutely amazing stuff. I love seeing what you guys are doing, especially when I'm not able to actually tune into your streams like this last week. We're going to close this one up and go on to the next one. I know Dino had one that he wanted to have us look at. Let me refresh the page here. Superb. Mad Guy, wonderful term to use. Absolutely superb. Love the colors, love the forms. Composition is wonderful. And boom, we've got a colored version. Danley. Oh, this is Danley? No, this is D. Hoffman. D. Hoffman. So this is D.H. Hoffman art. Follow D.H. Hoff. Wait, no. D. Hoffman art. Boom. Follow this amazing Stardust meatball. Clone it. Copy it. Paste it. And if you can believe it, Ink1's only been doing digital for a month. If you can believe it. I don't personally believe that. But it's absolutely fantastic tuning into Ink1's channel and watching him develop every day as an artist working in digital. He's transferring all of his knowledge over to digital, and he's sharing that every day. So it's really cool to see that. Absolutely cool to see that. Alright, so we're going to jump into this piece. 3 minutes on the clock. This is for D. Hoffman art. Please give him a follow. Alright, here we go. Let me deselect that. 3 minutes on the clock. Boom. Really dig the piece, really dig the composition here. A few things that my eye just got distracted at. I was really enjoying my eye bouncing around in the form here. When you have a white space like this on the top left and the top right, your eye is usually going to be drawn to those areas. So one thing you could do is just fill that up with color, and same with this on the bottom left down here and up top right there. Whenever you have white space, it's going to be an area of really high contrast, and your eyes are drawn to areas of high contrast. Like black and white, the difference between black and white. One thing also with this hand, the anatomy in this hand feels like it's getting a little lost here. So the forearm would be like that. You'd have the wrist, and then you'd have a bend. Wait, so it's her right, so thumb is on the other side. Up like this and down like that. So there's some anatomy issues. You want to make sure you block out the forms to really hammer down those anatomy issues. Oops. Beyond that left hand, the facial proportions are really good. Really dig the anatomy that you have here. You really have the collarbone defined out really well without having to go in there and etch out the collarbone. Even though this form down here is very fluid, and you're not etching the outline. I really like the movement here. With the wrist here, it would probably be just a little bit straighter right there. You're not usually going to see a bend in the middle of the wrist or in the middle of the forearm. How long has my mic been muted? What is going on, you guys? What is going on? Thank you, Half Moon Pizza. Thank you guys. I have no idea why my mic keeps cutting out like that. 3 hours. So how long? What was the last thing you guys heard? What was the last thing you guys heard? You're muted. You're muted. Thank you guys so much. I'm really sorry about that. It's been muted for 3 hours. My God. My God. Okay, derp time. Did you guys hear the derp time follow? I think that was the last thing you heard. Derp time. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being an awesome broadcaster. We're doing feedback today. My computer is doing its best to not allow me to give you feedback. It was like 3 minutes. It was like the entire thing. Great. The right hand. Perfect. The right hand. I know where I was then. I know where I was. Alright, so. Beef Bartles, and thank you guys so much. Today is a little different. I don't interact with chat as much on Fridays. I do my best to keep up, but it goes by really fast on Fridays. Thank you guys for spamming that no mic thing. Alright, so we're gonna do I'm just gonna do a random crit here. So some of the things I said, it's an insectoid hand. So one thing you could do is you could define the fingers as being insectoid, maybe with a different skin tone, to really give it that the two finger and then the knuckle. I'm pretty sure that's what you mean by insectoid. And then for here, for the forearm, you're gonna find that you're never gonna have a bend in the middle of the forearm. So one thing right here is you can kind of chisel this down so that this is gonna be one straight line right there. That one straight line like that. And then what I was saying about the blue on the face. So the blue on the face is going to be an area of the highest contrast. You're going to find the area of highest contrast is going to be underneath your chin, underneath the lip, underneath the nose, and right here on the eye. So one thing you could do is you could bring the browns, maybe the blues, to define the shadows here. That'll make your eye really drawn into the face, and it also give the face a really nice dimension. Excellent, excellent job here. Oh my gosh, we're getting rated. We're getting rated by Olivia Goddess. Everyone, please give Olivia Goddess a follow. She's totally, totally amazing. Straight line on the forearm, but the hang on a sec. Brachioradialis. Brachioradialis. It's still going to be straight. It's still going to be pretty much a straight line all the way down. What you have is not defining that the brachial dial, that thing. That's right here. That's a curve that's right here. The line that you have that kind of comes out like that is probably the one you're going to want to address. This one like that. That one's going to be straight. But yeah, you're right. There is a muscle right here. That's gonna bulge out, but this is pretty much a straight line shooting from the elbow to the hand. So right there. And it's not, what I mean is it's not going to be, you're not going to have a bend right here. And what you had is you had this kind of bent up just a little bit. That's going to be pretty much straight all the way down. You're going to see the bulge where that muscle is right there, but it's going to be straight from the elbow to the hand. You guys are all incredible and amazing. I do apologize. I'm missing so much in chat. Art of Arson, if you guys see all of those mod swords, all of the mod swords are broadcasters here on Twitch. Please give them a follow. D. Hoffman Art, let me know if you have any other questions about your piece. Wonderful job on the anatomy. Really dig the pose, the composition. Some areas to think about, if you have the white spots for high contrast, you can just put paint right over that. That'll make your eye not be gravitated towards the white areas. And keep up the awesome work. I really love how you're rendering it. Really, really great job. Alla prima. Yeah, and what's awesome is D. Hoffman Art is if you do challenge yourself like that, you're gonna get better at everything you do. Everything you do is gonna be made better by those times that you say, I'm gonna try something I haven't done before, or I'm gonna do it a different way. Awesome stuff, really incredible stuff. Peter Minator. There we go. Peter Minator. Peter Minator, thank you so much for the follow. You're an incredible meatball made us stars together in the Mossverse. We can do anything with the creative amalgamate of consciousness here on Twitch on the spaghetti strands of the Mossverse. What does that all mean? That all means that I've grabbed your consciousness from the internet, dropped it onto Twitch, and now we can tap into that greater collective consciousness that you are now a part of to create anything with the power of our imagination. Oh, this is great. This is great. I love all the work that you guys are sharing with me. Not only is it in your style, it's for your channel, it's for developing your art. Absolutely incredible. D. Hoffman Art, thank you so much for sharing your work. Let me know if you have any other questions. We're going to be going on to follow Sir Danley Man. Sir Danley Man, Pencil and Digital. Hey-oh. Peter Minator, thank you so much. And also, please give everyone with a mod sword in here a follow, Peter Minator, because they're all awesome broadcasters. They do their own art on their channel. Alright, let me get some coffee. Let me get some coffee. Get some coffee. Following so many people. There are some incredible people here, Richie. And by the way, you guys, please follow Richie as well. She is a musician here, as well as an artist. She is a Renaissance gal. Let me take a look at this. Let me take a look at this. All right, all right. D. Hoffman, one thing I absolutely love seeing is I love seeing work develop. If you post the same work next week, it's going to give me a lot more to talk about with you. I'm going to be able to talk about the development of the piece, where you want to take it. So I love when you guys share work in progress works, as well as stuff that you're working on. All right. All right, we're going to do this one. So this is Sir Danley Man. Follow Sir Danley Man. Wolfberry, how you doing? We're going to go in 3 minutes on the clock. Gonna do 3 minutes on the clock, and I don't interact with chat as much as I want to on Feedback Friday, but Feedback Friday is not about me today. It's about all of the awesome artists here, so give Sir Danley Man a follow. I'm gonna put 3 minutes on the clock here. Feel free to chat in the chat about what you think, about your positive comments. Please make them constructive and also stay awesome. 3 minutes, here we go. So Danley Man, so the first thing I notice, it looks like this is an for your offline screen for Twitch. And one thing you always want to do is you want to make sure that the text is instantly readable. I feel like you've really addressed that here with your speech bubble. And one thing you could do for this other one is you could make the speech bubble over here as well. Like maybe he's saying offline or something like that. Because one thing, the offline does get a little lost in the background, especially since this hand kind of brings right up into that N and kind of breaks up the image or breaks up the text. So one thing you could do, since you've already done this really cool technique here to highlight that text, you could do that same text over here, or that same speech bubble behind the offline tag so that it's instantly readable. That was a minor critique. Let's do the blatant praise. Incredible cow. Incredible cow. He's got this really awesome... The Artiverson's right. He's got this really awesome expression of determination. He's just like, I'm going for it. I love the form, love the movement on it, and I also like that you have the tattoo. It really wraps around the form nicely. Bad life decisions. I also like your character. I'm guessing this is a self-portrait. Really dig that. Oh, it's 12:30. Great expression on your face, on the cow's face, as well as the orange. I think it's an orange. Maybe it's an orange. I love all the different textures you're using in the brushes. Really enjoy that, especially all the different treatments you have in the water, and the different treatments on the figure. That transparent blue has a really nice effect in dividing the canvas up into two spots. I really like the design, the composition on this. Let me know if you have any specific questions. So Danley Man, his name is Freddy. Let me see if there's anything I would recommend. One thing you could do, you could take some time here to just clean up some of the line work. You can go back. I don't know if it's still a layered file. Any of the line work that's popping out of the body like that, you can just go over and fix real fast. That'll make it read a lot easier and a lot faster. You don't have to. It's not something that you have to do, but in areas like, let's say, right here, where that black part kind of pops off, same with the foot down there, and this line. Just taking a few moments to kind of clean up that line work would really bring all those forms together, because you've already painted them in a really nice way. I love the abstract background. Incredible stuff. Water is hard. Let me show you a quick trick about water. Let's see if I can do it on this painting. Yeah, we'll do it on this one. So one thing about the water is water is going to be transparent. You already have the transparency effect. You want to use, see all these bubbles? All the bubbles have that light hitting on the top left there. try to get the waves to have the same light effect as well. So maybe on the top left of your waves, they're going to get hit by that light. So you're going to have like some broken strokes that are going to follow the form of the water. So it's going to be like in these kind of shapes. And at the very, very top where it's going to catch the light, it's going to be that light white or like a blue. And to get that kind of foamy effect, you can kind of break up your strokes and change the color a lot between grays and stuff. Absolutely dig it. Absolutely love your stuff. One thing I definitely think you should address, all of the other stuff was opinions. One thing I definitely think you should address, though, is making the offline thing really easy to read, maybe with the same speech bubble. You always want text to be instantly readable. Especially if it's going to be like a summary piece for your video. Great stuff. Love the character, especially this guy. This guy's got a lot of character in that expression, even though he's only like 2 dots and that half circle for the mouth. It's got a really great expression. Great job. Let me know if you have any questions about it. We're gonna go to the next piece here. And there's Nightbot. There's Nightbot telling you how to post your work. All you got to do is reply to that thread. Filler in case there aren't enough people. Thank you, Frigid. We'll take a look at that if we have time. Undead Dopehead, are you here? Oh my gosh, it's giant. It's giant. Alien Ton, how are you doing, Alien Ton? I've missed all you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're doing Feedback Friday. We're going to be doing this every Friday, even if I'm taking a break for a few days. I'm going to be back every Friday to talk about your work. All right. Oh, man, this is huge. This is huge. Awesome. I missed you all. New to digital art, how big it's save it? If the bigger you save it, the better it usually is. That means that a bigger file. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at how big it is. Oh, it's not too big. It's not too big. 26 inches by 29 inches. That's usually about the size I make my paintings. Another thing you can also do is you can make it a smaller size, but make the resolution, the pixels per inch or the dots per inch, 300 even, or even 600. Some people do 600 dots per inch, but smaller images. Alright, you guys, so this is Undead Dopehead, and you are not a streamer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you don't stream. If you do stream, I'm going to give you a follow train here. Siri also reminded me that it's been 30 minutes, so don't forget to take a break, have some water. Yeah, Pigeon Milk is absolutely right. It's usually easier to go with higher detail images and then shrink them down to what you want. You can't do it the other way around, unfortunately. You're going to lose data and get artifacting and all of that stuff. You are a streamer of games. Okay, well, Undead Dopehead, let us know when you're thinking about doing creative streaming, because we got to give you some follows. All right, so 3 minutes on the clock. Let me know if you have any questions, Undead Dopehead. 3 minutes go. Alright, so the first thing I realized about this, it almost feels like it's a sticker or a design for like a t-shirt or something. It's really well planned out to frame that rib cage. You have really nice abstract marks in this kind of miasma, this kind of purple cloud here surrounding the rib cage and the sword. One thing you do want to always consider is you want to consider the contrast of the piece. So within, like, let's take the knife, for example, here. The blade of the knife, the lightest part of the knife is almost pure white, and then it goes to a really light gray. One thing you could consider is bringing some more shadows and highlights, or sorry, shadows and midtones, because right now you have pretty much the highlights only. So one thing you could do for the blade of the knife is maybe you put half of it in shadow. Maybe you'll put like this side in shadow or something, and then you'll put the other side as a highlight, like a really, really bright white. Because you want to make sure you know where the light source is, and that seems to be one thing that you could figure out in this piece. You could do maybe a little study up here and say, oh, the light source is going to be from the top left, and it's going to be hitting the entire canvas from the top left. How would that affect any object on here? And you could say, okay, well, there's going to be that strong highlight, there's going to be gray, and then maybe it's going to go into some darker grays, some purples, blues, or whatever. Doing a color study, a light study like this, is going to help you define where that light source is and stay consistent with your piece. The only place I can really see if there's light affecting it, looks like light is hitting maybe straight down onto the handle here. So one thing you could do is try to bring that consistent light source so that the light hits here. It hits on the blade, it hits on the rib cage, it hits on all of the areas in the same way. Really great job on the anatomy here of the rib cage. I really like that deep red. You're starting to get some of the really nice contrast with this maroon here. You could even go further with it and bring more of that maroon here and then use that red as the highlight. Maybe the red is going to be the highlight that's poking out. So right now you have really nice mid-tones and highlights. Bring in some more shadows. Bring in some more contrast. The sun trick will definitely help. Yeah, so try doing this one out where you say, okay, where is the light coming from? I'm going to stay consistent on the entire piece. Even on this thing in the back, it might be affected. It might be brighter on the top here where it's getting hit by that light as well. Great stuff. Let me know if you have any questions. Awesome stuff. I know I've drawn over this. I know I've ruined your awesome drawing. So here, I'll close this. I'll close my edited one. So on to Dopehead, please let me know if you have any questions. You're doing awesome stuff. Really like the design. You can immediately tell it's going to be for a shirt or for a sticker or something like that. Oh, Pigeon Milk. Yes, Pigeon Milk. I'm so glad you shared this. So thank you again, Undead Dopehead, for sharing that with us. I know it takes courage. It takes courage in your own work to share your work with us, and it means so much. It means so much. Oh my gosh. Undead Dopehead, you did really good job on the anatomy. Really good job on the anatomy. A lot of times with anatomy, you're gonna find that anatomy is all about comparing one form in relation to another form. So if you had like a skull to compare it to, it'd be really easy to bounce back and forth. But with just the rib cage, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Alright, so this is Pigeon Milk. Follow Pigeon Milk. Pigeon Milk. Did I get that right? Are you still here, Pigeon Milk? Pigeon Milk is still here. Please give him a follow. He just started broadcasting. Tear it apart. Well, Pigeon Milk, if you don't know me, I do blatant praise, constructive criticism, and inspiration. So if I do tear it apart, it's going to be sandwiched between love. So just warning you there. Warning you there. Alright, let me take a look at it before I jump into the crit. Very nice Renaissance framing. Oh, very nice. I love it. Almost feels like a Doom poster or something like that. With all the skulls. Lots of really good references in here. Alright. Casco Live! Hello, how are you doing? We're doing Feedback Friday today. I'm Monkey on Strike or Moss. This is Pigeon Milk. Please give Pigeon Milk a follow. We're going to be talking about him for 3 minutes here, so I do try to interact with chat as best as I can. Let me know if my mic drops out again, as always. Alright, so 3 minutes on the clock. Casco Live, thank you so much for the follow. You were an incredible meatball made us and together in the monsters. We can do anything with the spaghetti strands of the Monsterverse. I got it sort of right, but basically, we're coming together as a community to do amazing stuff, and I want to show the world all of the amazing art here on Twitch. Let me get some water. Okay. 3 minutes on the clock. Please be kind, be constructive, and stay awesome. Boom. Pigeon milk. Pigeon milk. Excellent, excellent composition here. There's a few things that I really enjoy about your composition right off the bat. You have really nice framing right here and right here. Mr. Rage Quit, thank you so much for the follow. You are an amazing meatball and discussing together monsters. We can do anything with the amount of consciousness here on Twitch. You have really nice framing here with a very shallow foreground. Really like that effect. It's almost like pre-Renaissance painting and Renaissance painting where they would frame the canvas. Rembrandt also used it to really good effect. It really brings your eye right into the character. Really, really dig the composition for that. The bottom here has a really wonderful, almost Doom poster kind of effect to it, with all the skulls and the character on top. I really like the foreshortening you have, the pose in the feet. It's a very complex pose, but you've captured it really, really well. Anatomy is captured really well. One thing that gets a little lost is the hand on the right. I'm not sure if you need to do anything for it. It could even be just bringing some of this green light a little further down, but I wouldn't say try to fix it or do anything to it. This looks like you've spent hours and hours on it, so keep it how it is. It's awesome, awesome working here. I love the sense of light. It's a very subtle kind of green light that gets cast from the top here. I really, really like that for moving your eye around, really getting the eye to trace over objects in here. But one thing that green light doesn't really do is it doesn't affect the things in the piece as much. Maybe if you had this green light, let me take a look. Yeah, so it's like a green light. You could bring that green light on some of the objects even more. Get that really nice illustrated effect. And even on the body a little more, maybe you have, because right now you have a kind of a flat tone here for the mid-tone, but there doesn't seem to be much of a highlight on there. Even if it was just a really subtle highlight, let me try it. If it was just like the subtlest change in the areas where it's that flat teal color, this flat teal color, you could. Oh my gosh, MTS Wood! I'm gonna deal with that. After. Thank you so much, MTS Wood. Oh my gosh. So you started doing it. Oh, you started bringing that green light like on this tentacle right here. I feel that really ties the piece together in a really wonderful way. Let me turn that down. Awesome, awesome design here. It feels like a poster. It feels like a video game poster. I would say try to be more consistent with that green light source. You could bring the green light even on the back here. Maybe like very subtle. I don't know. Something to think about for your next piece. This one looks like you've spent a lot of love, a lot of time on it. Love the pose, love the poster feel to it. Very well composed. Let me know if you have any specific questions. Maybe it's questions about the light, the colors, or the anatomy. It needs push more with the highlights. And pigeon milk, it doesn't have to be everywhere. You started doing that like in the shoe. That's exactly what you should have. You should have areas of darkness where there's shadow. You should have the mid-tones, and then you should have the highlight. I think in areas like some of the skulls, like these skulls in the back here, it's pretty much just the mid-tone. That's fine, because this area, you don't want your eye to be drawn to that. But for areas like this where the abs have this flat teal color, I think you want a little more information, and even the information you have with these kind of textured marks, that gives you enough information within the form so your eye is able to move around within the form rather than just following the lines along the entire. Your eye doesn't just follow the outline. And it's very awesome. Incredible stuff. Incroyable. Let me deal with this awesomeness here. Let me see if I can get this right. Boom pow, boom pow. I think I got it right. Boom pow, boom pow. Happy Friday! Oh, MTS Wood, thank you so much. Fabulous Stardust Meatball. You are a fabulous Stardust Meatball, MTS Wood. Thank you so much for that donation. That's going right into the stream. I'm upgrading with a new camera, getting a new computer here. That's all because of the support I get from you guys. Pigeon Milk, thank you so much for sharing that work. Everybody, please follow Pigeon Milk. He's starting up here on Twitch doing some broadcasting. Awesome stuff. You got my back. Fire Dragon, are you here, Fire Dragon? Not sure about the eyes. Okay, let's take a look at this drawing. Fire Dragon. And my mic didn't cut out. That's good. Fire Dragon is here. Wonderful. Wonderful. And I skipped, let's see, I think I skipped Dino. If I skipped anyone else, please let me know. Awesome stuff. Okay, 3 minutes on the clock. All right, Richie, and I know you have something here that you posted. If we get to it and you're not here, we'll wait for you. We will wait for you. I'm gonna do a really fast stretch here. Kapow. And look at this piece. Wish there was a way I could see the histogram. Let me see if there's a histogram here. Equalize? There is a histogram. There is a histogram. Except it's a terrible histogram. It's a terrible histogram. Whatever, that's fine. Casco Live Feedback Friday is so much fun. It's so much fun for me to share with you guys all the artists that I love watching and finding out the new artists on Twitch that I don't know. It's so incredible. It's this beautiful Friday. Domestic Dan, how are you doing? Everybody, please follow Domestic Dan, and also follow Fire Dragon. 6785. We're gonna be talking about Fire Dragon's piece here for 3 minutes. I always do my best to interact with chat on Fridays. It does get a little crazy. If I miss anything, please say @MonkeyOnStrike and I'll see it immediately. Okay, 3 minutes. Let me get some water. Let me get some water, you guys. And Domestic Dan, thank you for being here. I hope you're doing wonderful. I am having a wonderful day with you guys. You guys are all so awesome. And Weensfly, thank you for being here. I hope you guys find at least 20 or 30 people to follow here today, because all of the mods in my chat are awesome artists. Domestic Dan is an artist that works with cuisine. He's a cook here on Twitch. He also made a Kappa pancake. So please follow anybody with a mod sword. It's free. It's free to give out follows. It's also free to unfollow if you don't like them. Casco Live, no, you can share anything you want on here. Any kind of art. We almost had a song that was shared today that we were going to talk about. So you can share anything that you've created. All right, let's get into it. 3 minutes on the clock for Fire Dragon. Here we go. Be kind, constructive, and stay awesome. All right. So the first thing I noticed about this piece is that the face has really nice contrast to it. It's got the nice mid-tones and the darks to it. One thing it is missing, though, it's missing some highlights. You could always bring some highlights, like on the nose here. And the eyes to get the specular highlights. The highlights are really going to push the contrast and really make things like the shiny surfaces on the forehead, the shiny surfaces on the eyes, the nose, and the lips. That highlight's really going to make that pop out, the skin really pop out, and give it that dimension, even on the cheeks a little bit too. So for the eyes, I know you said you were having problems with the eyes. You have a really good shadow right here, in that crevice underneath the eyebrow. That's going to be one of the darkest spots on the body. Try bringing that over here as well. Try bringing that darkness right in here to push that side of the face back. That'll really help you bring out that dimension, and you can also push the highlight a little more above the eye so it doesn't flatten out. Right now it's kind of flattening out on that left side just a little bit. Really dig the texture. Really great job on how similar everything is down here, but you're treating it with that nice texture, different qualities to it. Let me check the lines of the face here. So the plane of the face is like this. That one gets skewed a little bit there, and that one's like that, and like that. So one thing you want to make sure is that all of the lines of the face are gonna align together. I think one that you might want to try redefining is just the eyebrow right here, and it might just be bringing it just a little lower. Let me try it. Yeah, it might just be bringing that one on the right just a little lower. And where the hair comes together for the eyebrow, you can go ahead and make it thicker there. You can go ahead and make it thicker to really define that eyebrow. Because you wanna make sure that the brow is defined, that crevice underneath the eyes, and even you could even define the bag under the eyes just a little bit more if you wanted to give it some more form. So anatomy is great. You have really good placement of the eyes. Let me check the size. The left eye might be a little bigger, and it might just be that this side you could trim off just a little bit of this side. Let me try it. Yeah, I think the eyes, all of the anatomy is really well done here. You could just round off this side a little bit, shave off just that top part right there, because you want to make this kind of like a football. Let me do it in blue. You want to make this kind of a football shape, so it connects over here on the same side. And same thing with this eye right here. It's kind of a football, like that. Great job on the anatomy. Try pushing the shadows a little more and the highlights more to get that really nice contrast there. Fire Dragon, let me know if you have any specific questions. Oh my gosh, I'm missing so much in chat. Too Senseless, you are absolutely right. Please follow all of the mod swords in my chat. Anyone who shares work. Casco Live, I'm excited to see your photography. I even have you edited as a photographer already. I knew that. Have you done inks? Wolfberry, we've already done inks. You can take a look at the past broadcast if you wanted to see what I had to say about his awesome work. Underside of the nose. Thank you, Art of Arson. So one thing with the nose, you're going to find the darkest spot on the face is going to be the nostril. So don't be afraid to take this black or the brown and really define the bottom here, the bottom of that nose. And then you can take the highlight and really get that roundness to the nose and get that highlight defined right there. You're going to have a really dark spot under the nose. You're also going to have, let's see, some reflected light, some shadow. Yeah, it's a little better, but you'll find that just by addressing it, you're gonna find that by making a shadow down here, it's really gonna create a nice sense of form. Really make that nose pop out. And the highlights are also going to be really helpful for defining that 3D shape to it. And Fire Dragon, it's a wonderful work in progress. You have some really good work here. Keep up the awesome work. Define some of the shadows, and you're on the right path to making a really good portrait. And you can almost immediately tell it's Will Smith too. So great job on the likeness. And yeah, the reflected light. One thing you could consider, it seems like there's a yellow light coming from this side. Maybe just for fun, think of another color that could be reflected. Like maybe you have a really subtle blue light over here, and maybe that blue light is reflected in some areas on this side of the face. Try playing around with it, because the light source doesn't have to be yellow. It doesn't have to create a yellow skin tone. This is just messy, but you get the point. You get the point. There's blue light, you can have reflected light to define forms, especially reflected light is especially helpful for areas like this where you really want to define that jaw. but you don't want to just make a skin tone over here. You could use a reflected light to define the shadow over there. Art of Arson is like, oh, I'm ready to do some anatomy lessons and reflected light lessons. Thank you so much, Fire Dragon, for sharing that with us. Everybody, please give him a follow. Awesome broadcaster. Let's go to the next one. Fancy Schmancy, are you out there, Fancy Schmancy? Orange and blue, red and green. What's the other complementary color? So let's see, orange and blue, yellow and purple. Yellow and purple. If you ever want to know complementary colors, you can look at a color wheel and you just pick a color, and on the exact opposite side, there's going to be a complement. So if you have like an off green color, the exact opposite on the color wheel is going to be your complement. And thanks again, Fire Dragon. Thank you again for sharing your work. The courage. The awesome art. It's so exciting. Fancy Smancy TV. I can't find it. Yeah, this is PG. This is PG. No nips. I'm so happy that you guys are all here hanging out. Fancy Smancy with that super meat boy. Fancy. And this is PG, guys. Don't worry. This is PG. This is PG. It's Sailor Moon intro status. Sailor Moon intro status. Oh, very subtle design elements. I really like the subtle design elements on here. Awesome. Okay, cool. We're going to put 3 minutes on the clock here. This is Fancy Schmancy TV. Follow Fancy Schmancy TV. Art of Arson, this is the artistic community that I've been thinking about my entire life. And when you guys say things like, I can't believe this is happening, it's because you now have the power to create this community out there. It's all because of you guys that this exists here. All right, here we go. 3 minutes on the clock. This is Fancy Schmancy TV. Let's talk. Let's talk about it. Get some water. Boom. 3 minutes. So the first thing that hits me is the composition. The composition has these really nice subtle elements in it, like the globe. The globe that's sitting behind her is a very nice subtle element that ties everything in, everything together. I really like you have all of the continents kind of splayed out. It really tells a narrative. It really tells a narrative of like Pangea and Gaia have formed this one landmass, this one place on Earth, or maybe even a different planet. It's absolutely cool design here. One thing I do notice though, if you look at the bottom down here, just look at the bottom, and then you compare it to the top. It feels like you could bring in some design elements into the bottom, and maybe what you do is you end up just copying some of the design elements up here in like the neuron inspired stars, it looks like. You could bring some of that down here so that there's some information down here for your eye to look at. Because one thing I almost want to do is I almost want to see just the top part, because on the bottom it's almost as if it's missing the information for my eyes to bounce around. So what ends up happening is my eye goes right to the figure, and then it stays up here in the top. So one thing you might want to do is try playing around with maybe putting some of the land masses on the bottom, bringing some of the stars to the bottom. And of course, if this is done, it's absolutely okay. You don't have to. These are opinions. Great expression on the face. That hair is just phenomenally rendered. I love the colors you're using. They're very subtle, but they're also really No, they're really subtle. They're not very saturated at all. I really like the subtlety to it. One thing with the anatomy, let me just show you real fast. So this is where the jaw is. The jaw would be right here, and it would connect to the collarbone with the muscle that the sternomastoid, I think, and I think you'd even have a neck like that. Let me see. Let me try it. The only anatomy issue I've noticed is that neck, but it doesn't take away from it at all. It doesn't detract from the piece. It's just something to think about, like where is the jaw meet with the neck here, and where's that collarbone? Where's the collarbone in here? That's stuff to think about for next time you do a drawing. I love the expression on the face. The colors are really, really nice. Absolutely looks awesome. 3 minutes is not enough. Fancy Schmancy TV, absolutely love the work. Let me know if you have any questions on it. I love all the subtleties you have here. You have that absolute glow coming from behind her head and coming from the hair. I love the subtle elements, like you have these lines that are really subtle. Really subtle lines to kind of divide the canvas, to give her like a really transparent feel to her. Really, really cool stuff. And I don't know if you guys have noticed, but each of these has a different light source. And I'm going to show you why that's really cool. So like all these things have a different light source. This guy's got oh man, look at that one. So all of these have a different light source. And, I'm sorry. They all have the same light source, but it's being cast from different directions. So really, really cool that you have that glow coming from right here and just glowing out from the piece, and it's affecting everything around it. Really, really cool stuff. Absolutely dig it. Please give Fancy Schmancy TV a follow. Sticky, how are you doing, Sticky? We're doing Feedback Friday. If you want to join, Nightbot is right above you. He just told you how to post. We just looked at Fancy Schmancy TV's work. Mother Earth. So it is Mother Earth, Fancy Schmancy? Because without even telling me the narrative, I got the idea of that Pangea coming together to form that kind of mystical Earth creature. Earth protector. But yeah, consider the bottom. Consider the bottom is the constructive critique I would give. You want to make sure that you have information all over for the eye. Like, look at the top here. Lots of information for the eye to bounce around. Donkabear, thank you so much for the follow. You're an incredible meatball minister. The other monsters, we can do anything with the amalgamate of consciousness here on Twitch. Today, we're tapping into that amalgamate of consciousness, sharing you guys all of the work that's out there. Oh man, we already have a second page going. Essentially the creator, the goddess of the comics I'm working on. Oh man, guys, follow Fancy Schmancy TV because we need to see that comic develop. Richie, are you out there, Richie? Follow, open. Richie. Alright, so we're going to talk about Richie's work. She is a musician, she is an artist, and she is a broadcaster. Please give her a follow. She is fantastic. A fantastic humanoid. So, Weensfly, this is you can click on the link I just posted and post your work there. I'm going to most definitely get through the first and second pages of work. The third and the fourth page we might not get to today. I do my best to give really fast critiques, but I do want to give as much information as I can. Alright, Richie. Perfect. Perfect, you're here. Alright, 3 minutes on the clock. Actually, before the 3 minutes, let me just show you some post-processing stuff real fast. Brightness contrast. Especially with pencil work, I would always recommend bumping up the contrast, bumping up the brightness. Let's see how that looks. Boom, let's try that. Yeah, edit, redo. Okay. Undo, redo. Perfect. So always make sure you've put so much love, you've put so much energy into doing your work. You really want to take a nice high quality picture with no shadows on it, no blowouts, in terms of like you have a light shining directly on it. Spend the time to take a really high quality photo, and you can always do post processing to increase contrast and brightness. All right. Take your time on critiques. I do my best, but there's so much work out there I want to talk about. So I do these 3-minute timed critiques. All right, and I do do my best to interact with chat on Fridays. I can't do it and give critiques, so for this 3 minutes, I'm gonna ignore you guys. I will do my best to catch up when I'm done. No banana, no banana today, banani poopy, banani poopy. All right, here we go. Sorry, I keep breathing into the mic. 3 minutes, Richie. Richie, awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. Your eyes get dragged right into the pupils of the eyes, right into the piece. I love that you've hidden away his mouth with the cup here, but you still get that sense of the full expression. He kind of has almost like a Kappa, like mischievous look on his face. One thing you always want to consider with your face is where is that plane? Where's the plane of the face? So the plane of the face is going to be along here, and the eyes get a little separated from that plane. The nose follows it, and I assume the mouth would follow it as well, but it's behind the cup. So one thing you always want to make sure is that the plane of your face, whether it's facing the camera or facing to the side, that it has that same plane for the eyebrows, the eyes, the nose, and the mouth. And you hit your microphone all the time. That's always a good idea. So one thing for the eyes, you'd probably want to bring up your eyes on this one. It doesn't have to be for this piece. You don't have to go back and ruin it trying to fix it. But you'd probably want to bring your eye up just a little bit, like that, so that these line up. Boom and boom. Really like what you've done with the hair. It would be really nice to see some highlights in there as well. You could go back in with your eraser and pull out some of the highlights here. You could also use paint, watercolor, acrylic, or anything. Because what you have here is you have a really nice outline and midtones. One thing you could do is you could push the shadows and the highlights more. For the highlights, you could use paint and paint on top. You could use digital work, or you could use your eraser and just pull out some of the areas where it's going to be really highlighted, like the eyes, the nose, maybe even the cup is a little highlighted as well. But you could also go back into the shading and bring out some of these areas that are going to be in shadow, like underneath the eyebrows, right in between the eyes, and the chin. But really great job on this. Let me know if you have any questions, Richie. You hit your microphone, you drop your microphone. Great job on this. Really, really dig it. Try pushing some of the highlights and the shadows to really establish the form of the face. Things like the specular highlights, these really bright white highlights, are going to be a great way to get that form defined. And Art of Arson is correct. Erasing is a really powerful way to do that because it's easy. You already have the tone established in here. It's kind of a gray tone. And all you have to do is just take your eraser and just kind of follow along the texture, follow along the surface, and that'll really make it pop out. Great job. It is really cute. I like the composition and how you're blocking the face with the cup. But make sure you take a really good picture with even light. You don't want areas of shadow like that when you are taking pictures of your beautiful and gorgeous work. Shading is something you need to work on, and so shading is something that everyone needs to work on. I always tell people to do color studies or light studies. So you could do it on the same piece and just say, okay, the light is going to be coming from the top left, shining here. And then you could do like, okay, this is going to be in shadow. This is going to be maybe a blue in shadow. Always recommend to do that. You kind of did that here on the cup, actually. But just stay consistent with it. Great stuff. Absolutely dig it. Everyone should give Richie a follow. Everybody should follow her. Let me do follow. Richie X27. And by the way, if you guys haven't seen, just for a second, I just want to show you this amazingness here. I just want to show you guys, if you guys haven't seen this, I don't think you've seen this, Shticky, if you're still out there. There's a few of you guys that haven't seen the amazingness of the Kappa banner. We have over 80 Kappa. I just wanted to take a little break here to look at it. And thank you again, Richie, for sharing your work. I know it takes a lot to put your work out there, especially for people that you don't know to see, but we're a really supportive community here. We're all about making you the best artist that you can be and sharing that with the world. Look at all these Kappa, they're so beautiful. There's so many amazing Kappa, so many. Alright, so we're gonna go to Feedback Friday. Feedback Friday. We just did Richie, we're gonna do Mad Guy. Kappa, Kappa, many Kappa. What? Who did this one? Who did this one? Made a piece for Farrington, sir. Steampunk Batman. Oh my gosh, I'm excited for this one, you guys. And Dino, don't be so critical of your own work. Think about it as I had to start somewhere. I started here and I did it with my full intention of creating art, and you did. You did absolutely create art. Richie, I hope you have a wonderful day. You incredible Stardust Meatball. Everyone give her a follow. She does music here on Twitch. We're trying to get her to do her other creations as well. You guys are all awesome and amazing. So one thing I would always recommend, post-processing. Post-processing. Even just taking off the binder on the left there, you're able to really focus in on the character, really focus in on the drawing that you did. Mad Guy, so this is yours. Let me make sure. This is yours, right? Mad Guy. Okay, so help me with anatomy, proportions, torso and waist to legs. Bam. If you didn't tell me you were having anatomy issues, I wouldn't have been able to tell. Anatomy is really good on this one. Goodbye, Richie. Thank you so much for sharing your work. All right, here we go. 30 minutes. 3 minutes on the clock. Kablamo. Great concept. Amazing concept here. Really dig the steampunk aspect to it. You really get the steampunk feel with things like the monocle and the hat. A few things before I talk about the anatomy. A few things about like a monocle is the monocle is going to be glass. So one thing you might consider doing is shading this in gray, and then maybe trying to pull out a highlight by erasing just one area of it. You're really going to get that nice glass look to it. You can also have like a little chain here that connects either to his hat, his ear, or somewhere on his head to give that look of the monocle. Because it doesn't look different enough from his other eye right now. So one thing you want to do is you want to make that really pop out there. And same thing with the hat. You could even go over the hat with a dark gray, like a dark gray wash. Maybe not that dark. Go with a dark gray wash, and then use a light an erased mark over here on the left to get that look of the hat. So for your anatomy, I would say your anatomy is spot on. I mean, the bat suit is going to be really hard to do anatomy, but what we could do is say, okay, the neck is right here, collarbone's right there, boom, that looks perfect. Rolls over the shoulder really well. The rib cage is well defined. The shoulders might be a little big. It's absolutely not a problem. The anatomy reads as fine. you're going to find that the shoulders would be a little more rounded, and then it would go down into the forearm and the biceps. But it's actually really, really good anatomy. You even have that curl of the hands really well drawn. For one thing, with the thumbs, you could even do that, define this space a little more with some shadow in there. Because what you're going to find is you're going to find the thumb wraps over and it makes this kind of spiral right in there, right in the hand. For the waist, let's try the waist out. So this is going to be one leg and here's going to be the other. Pelvis is right in here. Like that. And then the legs are going to fall down like this. And one thing you're going to be doing is you're going to be defining it with a bat suit on. So anything you do, you can stylize, you can have fun with it. Ricochet Hex, I miss you. I missed you. So Mad Guy, great job on the anatomy so far. Oh my gosh, 3 minutes is not enough. 3 minutes is not enough. Mad Guy, let me know if you have any specific questions. For the pelvis, just try doodling it out first, and then drawing on top. You could do it with a really light sketched mark. You could even do it on a separate drawing, but you have the basics. You have the basis of it. You have the foundation. Really great job on it. I love the concept. And Mad Guy, the only way you're really going to teach yourself anatomy is by trying it, and trying it with repetition. If you do a leg once, if you draw that leg once and it looks weird, try drawing it again differently. I always try to draw things in different ways. You can always block it out in really simple shapes. That's the way I like to start my drawings. Great job on the Batman. Na 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 na. Ruzo, enjoy your paint night. You are an incredible, awesome dude. Everyone should give Ruzo a follow. Mad Guy, do you stream here on Twitch? I'm not sure if you do, but Mad Guy, thank you so much for sharing your Batman with us all. We're going to close up the Batman, go on to the next one. If you have any questions, Mad Guy, please feel free to ask. Holiday, how you doing, Holiday? Ricochet Hex, I have so much to do for the Creative Stream team. Definitely need to get to that. You're absolutely right, Ricochet Hex. You don't stream? Well, Mad Guy, you should think about starting. Streaming is awesome, an awesome way to get your art out there, to get better at what you do. Gecko, are you out there, Gecko? How are you diddling? I'm diddling, doodling so good. Such an awesome day to be alive. So glad you guys are sharing it with me here today. We're finding so many talented people here on Twitch. D. Hoffman Art. We had Ink1 share his work earlier. Sir Danley Man. Frigid. Give anybody in here with a mod sword a follow. Give any of the broadcasters that share their work a follow. Some awesome stuff today. And Sig, oh my gosh, Sig, you're out there. I hope you're still here. We're going to be talking about yours next. Undead Dopehead, I'm so excited that you started a Kickstarter. That's actually how I got started as a professional artist. Just on a whim, I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to start making art my life. And the Kickstarter was actually a really great way for me to find people that support my art and to get my art out to people. Ricochet Hex, if anyone, and to all of you guys out there who didn't make the Creators Stream team, you have to check out the website, check out what's required, because there are requirements to get into the stream team. The basic requirements is that you have to post an intro and participate in a community project. I've had a lot of people kind of mad at me that they didn't get into the team, but it's all on you. You have to post that intro. You have to participate in the community projects. And Ricochet, if you can also always message me in private too about that kind of stuff. I don't want people to be mad at you. Alright guys, Let's do this. 3 minutes. There's Gecko. So this is Gecko CG. And Gecko CG, do you stream here on Twitch? I don't know if you do, Gecko. And Mad Guy, thank you again. Thank you again for sharing. Ricochet Hex, because humans are weird. Humans are weird. Okay, speaking of humans being weird, 3 minutes on the clock. Go. Alright, Gecko. Awesome design here. Really like that you've spent a lot of time thinking about the clothing design and the anatomy. It looks like you're still working on this with the flat gray color on the boots. Actually, wait, let me stop this. Let me stop this. Maybe you posted something on here. Character I've been working on for a while. I live streamed this couple days. Oh my gosh, you do stream. And choosing the colors. Okay, any anatomy feedback is welcome too. Okay, awesome. Alright, so everybody give Gecko a follow. I'm going to do that right now. Followed. Bam. Okay. 3 minutes on the clock. Boom. Alright, so what we're talking about today, we're talking about Gecko's work. He's been working on this character for a while here. I'm just checking the anatomy out. You said you're having a problem figuring out the colors. One thing I love doing, you've seen me do a few of them here today, is you can do a quick light study. And a light study is where you establish colors. Maybe you say, okay, this is a sphere of skin. So the skin is maybe getting hit from, it looks like from directly above, maybe into the right. So maybe this is like a yellow light. The reason you want to do light and color studies is the light is going to affect the entire piece. It's going to affect what color the highlights are going to be, and what color the shadows are going to be. With a yellow light, I like using complementary colors as my shadows, and then just kind of blending them together. The color study and light study is a great way to see what you want to do for the entire piece. It's also a great way to stay consistent with your piece. And it's a great way to test out ideas and play around. Because one thing with colors, I would always recommend you to play, especially if you're doing digital work. You don't have to pay for the paints. You don't have to pay for each of the individual paints here. So you can have fun with it and maybe say, okay, you know what, I'm gonna try making this blue today. We're gonna try making it a vibrant blue, and you're like, you know what, I don't like it. Get rid of it. So try out different colors. Maybe you just throw them on top there, and immediately you say, you know what, that's not the color I want. The only way you can really know is by trying it out. But you do want to stay consistent with the light source. And that way you can also define some of the highlights. Right now you have a lot of the midtones and some of the shadows. Consider thinking about, okay, well, I also want there to be that nice highlight as well. And even if it's just on a few areas, like the cheeks, the bust, maybe the arm a little bit here, it'll really help give it that form. And also one thing I always recommend, the reason why I use the complementary colors in my shadows, if you use a brown like this, make that flat color, and then use grays and blacks to define the shadow, the grays are actually not going to give it a sense of form, it's going to flatten it out. Because grays, blacks, and whites don't have color value. So that's why I would recommend figuring out what color your light source is, and then even if it's just a really subtle purple, if you brought some purple as the shadow, it's going to give it a lot more form to it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, 3 minutes is not enough. Not enough. Great job on the anatomy. It's spot on, absolutely spot on. Try pushing some of the shadows a little more into shadow and pulling out some of the highlights. And play around with all of the colors. For Rengo, let's see. So the reason why you get that stiffness in a pose is if you have the hips are flat and the shoulders are flat, you're going to get that really stiff pose. One thing I didn't bring it up because you've put a lot of work on this. It would be hard to address right now. But to address a stiff pose in the future, you want to say, okay, there's more weight on, let's say, the right leg. So the right leg is actually going to be higher than the left, even if it's just slightly. Even if it's just slightly and there's more weight on here, then you'd have a counter pose for the hands. You'd have that counter pose, and then you'd get this line of movement through the body. Because right now the line of movement, the gesture, is straight down. That's why you get that stiffness, because it's a straight gesture. What you really want to capture in a character is what's the form here, and just pushing up one hip and then doing the counter pose with the shoulder. It'll give it a lot more movement and contrapposto. Thank you, Varango. I forgot that term earlier, and Art of Arson helped me out. So contrapposto, counter pose, basically means you can take the hips and the shoulders and put them at an offset to each other to give that pose movement and life to it. Awesome stuff, Gecko. You're doing some great work. Varango, thank you so much for bringing up counter pose as well as the stiffness. It's not something you have to address here, but it's something you always want to think about in your drawings. How to bring life into it. And yeah, the gestures. So one thing, try to simplify a drawing into one line. That's essentially what a gesture is. So a gesture for this one might be from the neck down all the way down to the legs. And that's all the gesture is just one line throughout the body. And what that'll do is it'll help bring life into each of the marks you get. Against pasta? How are you against pasta? Art of Arson, yeah. So this is Gecko is working on it. He said he's having problems rendering it and figuring out what colors they are. I would say just do it. Just try it out, especially since it's digital work. You can always try it out. If you don't like it, you can just save it and open a new one. Sig, are you out there, Sig? Sig, you incredible Stardust meatball. Sig. And Gecko, thank you. Thank you so much for your work. Everybody should give you a follow. He's starting up streaming, so we need to give him that base, user base. Crisco the best, hello. How are you doing? I don't know if Sig is out there. What we're gonna do though. Undead Dopud, yes, that's wonderful, wonderful advice. Save often. Save often. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, you guys. I think what we're gonna have to do here. It's almost 1:30. Sig is there. Okay, Sig. Sig is out there. Before we get to Sig's piece, we're gonna do something. Every 30 minutes, I like to remind you guys that you are all meatballs. And in the Mossiverse, don't forget to get up. There's the reminder. Don't forget to get up, move around. For some reason, I can't pull my camera. Let me try that. Oh my gosh. There we go. If you can, get up out of your seats. If you can't, just stretch out. Get your hands all nice and stretched. We're all just meatballs made of stardust. Our skins are made of water. Don't forget to move that meat bag around. Stand up and shake it out. Sig, we're going to be talking about your piece here in a moment. We're doing a little stretch break. A little stretch break. And Dino is back. Dino, unfortunately, since you missed your critique, I'm going to have to put yours at the end, but I do want to get to you. And by the way, check out this nice shirt made by ICMZ, Monkey on Strike. Alright, you guys, we're taking a little break here. Ka-ding! Thank you guys so much for being here. Absolutely appreciate the time you guys are spending here with me, here in the Mossiverse. Martian Phoenix, how you doing? We're about to talk about Sig's awesome work. And isn't this shirt awesome? Isn't this shirt incredible? I'm blown away. Blown away by all of you guys, by the community out there. You guys are incredible. Incredible. All right, let's see if we can fix this. We're going back into the computer. That shirt is loud. Wait, it is? It was making a lot of noise? Oh my gosh, it is making a lot of noise. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just my voice. Alright, you guys, we're talking about Sig. She's an awesome artist, an awesome Stardust Meatball. Have you thought about streaming, Sig? Have you thought about streaming? Phenomenal line art, Pigeon Milk. Phenomenal. Alright, guys, we're going to put 3 minutes on the clock here. We're going to talk about this awesome work. I do my best to interact with chat. If I miss something, just say @MonkeyOnStrike or Moss, and I'll see it. Alright, 3 minutes. Let's go. Boom! Wonderful, wonderful line art. That's the first thing that hits you is all of the gorgeous different treatments. I mean, you have a really detailed geometric treatment here on the headband. You have wonderful line art in the hair. Really gives it a nice flow to it. Really dig the line art in the feathers. I mean, it's illustrative. It's very detailed. It's not so detailed that your eyes get lost in it. Like this kind of area, your eyes are able to flow around with the flow of the hair. Really, really dig this. I love the subtle colors that you've put in here, the reds and the greens. Really really dig the simplicity of the piece. I mean, you have two lines to define that arm. You have one line right here to define the entire body. Really, really like that. Absolutely dig it. And Domestic Dan, thank you, Domestic Dan. There is like a few areas, and I know it's probably pen and ink. You usually don't want to have a transition like that, a transition like this in the hair. You always want to have curved things in the hair. So one thing to think about for next time is try to avoid areas where you're going to have a quick transition, especially in the hair. You can have it on areas in the body where you have a bend around maybe a joint. That's absolutely fine. But with something like hair, you usually don't want to have those quick transitions. Wonderful expression on the face. I really love the simple forms that you're using. I can't give a constructive critique on this one. I'm just giving you blatant praise. Great job on the anatomy. The hands are really well done. One thing with the anatomy. Let me see. One thing with the anatomy, even though you're not going to see it, you could take some time in the sketch to say, this is where her neck is, this is where her shoulders are going to be. I think one thing with this pose is you're not going to find that the elbow or the shoulder in the back is going to be as far behind as you have it. It would probably actually be out here. And then the arm would even extend a little further. So even if you can't see it, try sketching it out. That'll give you a better way to grasp the anatomy, because I think the shoulder is maybe back here right now. And even when you raise your arm up, that shoulder's not going to move very far back. It might move up a little bit. Yeah, it might move up a little bit, but it's not going to go behind as much as you have it. But that absolutely does not take away from this beautiful piece. Love the line work, love the subtle expression. I also really like that you've left the line work open at the bottom and the top. It really allows your eye to flow around the page. And use your imagination to fill in the rest. I really, really like that. Sig, I can't give much constructive criticism. Sig, let me know if you have any questions. You are awesome. Thank you so much for sharing it with me here today and sharing it with all of us. Time to Dance, Hollywood Undead Boy, Domestic Dan, all of you amazing people, Martian Phoenix. Thank you guys so much for being here. And Domestic Dan did point out, if you guys do have any work that you want to share, there is the thread. I'm going to do my best to get through it. The last few times I've been able to get to the 4th page. Anything after the 4th page we're going to have to check out next week. But I'll do my best. I will do my best today. Actually gives me an idea for a tattoo. Well, there you go. Sig, you are inspiring. You are incredible. Maya Loves Games, thank you so much for that follow. You are an incredible Stardust Meatball. And together here in the Mossiverse, we can do anything with the power of our amalgamate of consciousness. Pixel art. Okay, boom. Final Perler. Oh my gosh. Okay, cool. Okay, so one alien. One alien sitting on the wall. 2 alien making perlers. 3 alien finishing the perlers. Are you out there, Alien Ton X? And MTS Wood, you are totally right. Sig, if you do stream, we would love to see it. Want more colors on it? Sig, one thing you could do is you could try it out. Since you have this copy of it, you have a digital copy of it, this has now been preserved. So you can play around with the original piece. You could light the original piece on fire, and you'll still have this gorgeous, gorgeous memory of it. So don't ever feel like I'm gonna ruin it. Think of it as I'm gonna explore what I can do with it. How do you post pictures? My gosh. My gosh, why did I minimize that? If you guys need to know how to reply to this thread, you scroll all the way down to the bottom and hit reply. Right here, reply. And it'll take you to this page where you can add attachments or post a link to Imager or any service like that. Don't post to Instagram, please. Instagram is terribad. Alright, Sig, thank you again, Sig. I cannot wait for you to start streaming because I know it's just a matter of time. Okay, 1 alien. 2 alien. 3 alien. Let's get all these aliens. Alright. Perfect. So one thing I always say, I'm gonna do this before post-processing. Make sure you get a really good picture of your work because you've spent so much time on it. And geez, this one's big. This is a big perler. So we're just gonna go. We're gonna lose a little information. That's fine. Let's see how it looks. Okay, we lost a little information on it. And it's at a weird angle since I moved it that way. Whatever, we'll crop it like this. Yeah, this is tough. I see you're having a hard time with it because it's all wavy. It must have been hard to take a picture of this. Alright. So we're talking about Alien Ton X. Let me put 3 minutes on the clock here. Alien, if you have any specific questions you want to ask for this, let me know. Came out a little like a potato chip. You mean delicious? Alright, 3 minutes, let's go! Alright, so this is your original image. This looks like this was before you even did all the perlers to it. You picked one with really intense line work, really a big focus on almost like a watercolor effect. Brave. What a brave perler. And what you did to it, let me see what you did to it. I like that you took that purple to define this form right here. I really like that. It really makes it stick out. I love the simplicity that you've taken in the hair. You've taken all of the really wavy lines and simplified them down. I really like that. Let's take a look at the final. The final perler. Oh man, it's big. It's big. It's funny how with so little information you get that all of that expression across. I mean, just with that 4 pixels, the 4 pixels you have there, you really get that sense that she's closing her eyes and kind of sitting there holding on. It almost looks like a Pokemon or something. I think a few areas that might get some information might get a little lost is the shadow that you've used. Oh my gosh. How come that looks like craziness? Okay, there we go. One thing I think that makes it look just get a little lost, the color you use here looks like it's the same color you use in the hair for the shadows. One thing you could consider is picking out a different color when you're shading on skin as opposed to shading on hair. This purple right here, this pink, yeah, it's a pink. It looks like it's pretty much the same color as the hair, and it gets a little lost in areas where the shadow is right on the edge of where the hair and the skin is. Can't escape the glitch. Is the glitch still there? No, I think it is. I really love how the movement in the hair that you were able to capture with the minimum amount of pixels. I mean, it's crazy how few pixels you can get. Like the highlight here, the highlight on this guy is just so subtle, but you were able to get it with just that 9 pixels that you have there. Let me know if you have any specific questions. We have 15 seconds. 15 seconds. I really like how you simplified her mouth. You didn't try to do the lips that she has. I like that you went with the simple mouth. This one's huge. This one must be one of your bigger perlers, Alien. No specific questions? Well, that's because you're a phenomenal dude. You do some incredible work. Consider the light thing that I said. So for the shadows, you want to make sure that the shadow treatment on the skin is different than the shadow treatment in the hair. You can make it a similar color, but you don't want it to be exactly the same color, especially if the hair is going to spill over like right here. You picked a really hard piece. Really great job doing it. Absolutely awesome. Everyone, please give AlienTonX a follow. He does perler work. He has a really great community here on Twitch. And also give Unico a follow, and any one of the mods. Any of the mods there, Proper Artist, Art of Arson, Unico. Dias, how come you're not a mod? Dias, get with it. Get with it, Dias. Awesome stuff. Awesome work. Please give Alien a follow. We're going to go on to the next one. And no, thank you. Thank you for sharing your work, getting your name out there. Yo, brave soul. Oh my gosh, we can do video for our icons? Okay. I didn't know that. Definitely going to do that. Oh, we're doing Olivia Goddess. Olivia Goddess, you're there. You're there, Olivia Goddess. That totally looks like Amalith's piece. Awesome job on that. Alright, so this is Olivia Goddess, who is actually a goddess. Did you guys know that? Did you guys know that? Oh man, here she is. Chat full of chats. My bad for not being your mod. I fixed it, Dias. I fixed it. I fixed it. Alright, fixing my headphones. Alright. Olivia. Alright, 3 minutes on the clock for Olivia. Olivia is an incredible artist. Pardon me. Pardon me. Padme. Alright guys, so I do my best not to say, like if someone was explaining my work, I wouldn't say, oh yeah, and this guy has tennis elbows. But one thing with Olivia you have to remember is that Olivia creates art here on Twitch, and she's legally blind. So everything she does is phenomenal and inspiring, especially to artists like me that have physical restraints on what we can do. Seeing someone like Olivia create is absolutely inspiring. Absolutely inspiring. Everything that she does. Hi, hi. So please give Olivia Goddess a follow. We're gonna give 3 minutes on the clock for her. Kablam. Really, really like the composition. You really framed that the dragon really nicely in the egg. I really like the subtle shadow that you have. You're not using a black, which is a really, really great way to do the shadows. You're using a darker version of that purple. Really, really awesome stuff. You have a really nice highlight not only on the shell, you also have that highlight on the dragon skin as well. One thing you could do, since you have these shadows established, just say it. I don't want to, Olivia. I don't want to just say, she's blind. Look at this work she can do. I want to say, guys, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you're doing. I'm going to stop the timer. It doesn't matter what you can or what you can't do. You can do it. All you have to do is just try. Just do it. Just do it. You're not just blind, Olivia. You're an inspiration. You're an incredible artist. Let's get back to that clock. Kablam. All right. So you have the really nice. Oh, you even have this really nice shadow underneath the head there. You could consider wrapping that shadow around here as well. Since you have the shadow defined up top, you kind of want to bring that shadow into a few other places on your painting as well to give it that sense of light. You could bring it here, maybe on the top of the wings to give it a sense of depth, and maybe on this wing as well. With the highlight, you could also do the same, like maybe the light is coming in from the side here and it's picking up on the wings. Since you have the highlights and the shadows already on the head, you want to bring those highlights and shadows around to the rest of the drawing. Another thing you could also do with the same treatment is to give some dimension to the shell by bringing some of that dark green, maybe where those cracks are, just to give it that sense of light. So wherever there's those cracks, maybe to the right of each of the cracks, you're going to add just a tiny bit of shadow to it. That's going to give it a nice sense of form, and as always, you don't have to do it. These are opinions. These are opinions. But if you do bring in some shadows and some highlights, it's going to give it that nice roundness to it that you have with the highlights right here. Another thing you could also do is where that edge is, you can choose to bring out some areas of highlights. So maybe you also bring that green in a few edges here that catch that light. So it's not just that one highlight. Your eye is able to kind of bounce around from this highlight to go to the next and the next and the next. One thing you want to think about with painting, whenever you put color or line on the canvas, it's almost telling the eye, start here. Start here and move along the painting. That's almost what the lines and the color represent to your eyes. Absolutely incredible, absolutely amazing. Please give Olivia Goddess a follow. If you have any questions, Olivia Goddess, please ask. Please feel free to ask. MTS Wood, those are words of wisdom. Don't let anything hold you back from doing what you love. Don't do it. Don't do it, just do it. Oh, you actually did this with a migraine. Well, Olivia, you are an absolute inspiration. Despite all of the things that stop you from making art, you still do it, and all of the other artists on Twitch need to take a lesson from you. Need to take a lesson that you can just do it. Don't let your streams be dreams. Alright guys, I'm going to do a little... I think I'm going to do a little break here. Let me check. Let me check something. No, she's not on anymore. Darn it. Darn it. Darn it. Okay, guys, we're gonna take a really quick break here. We're gonna go do a midstream raid. Midstream raid. Alright, guys. Midstream Raid is one that says, the show is not over. It's just a break for me. I want to give you guys something to do. We're going to say something different today. It's kind of the same thing. Boom. Get your raid suits on, you guys. Get your raid suits ready. We're about to go in to another channel. We're going to drop the love. We're going to splam it. Do you guys know what splam is? Splam is not spam. Splam is saying that message just once, but we all say it together to create a wall of love. Domestic Dan, you have to go. Well, thank you so much for being here. Alright, so this is what your message should look like. It should change colors. It should change colors. Ah, we can turn up the Zelda music. We are going to make some serious cosmic spaghetti. That's right, Pigeon Milk. Alright, guys. So we're going to go hang out in this guy's stream. I'm going to be back in about 5 minutes. Count them, 5 minutes. Where are we going? We're going here. What are we saying? ... Copy this. Don't let your streams be dreams. Sam Peterson Art is an absolutely incredible person. Please go in there. Give him a follow. Give him some love. We're going to be back. We're going to be back for Feedback Friday. We've still got a lot of work to cover. The next one we're going to be talking about is Art of Arson, so please, please come back. It's going to be really fun taking a look at his work. Alright, webcam off. We're going in for the raid. I'll be back shortly. Alright guys, I dropped it in there. Oh my gosh, Dino, MTS Wood, Art of Arson, Sleepywood, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much, LP Music, Pixel Cats, you guys are all incredible and amazing and wonderful beings of Stardust. Please give Sam Peterson Art a follow. I'm going to be back here in about 5 minutes. I'm going to get some water. I'm going to go take a little break here. Oh my gosh, so incredible. Give him a follow train. Make sure you don't spam it. You guys are all amazing and incredible. I'll be back 5 minutes. almost ready. Almost. Almost. Nebula Pro 2. How are you doing, Nebula Pro 2? Today is Friday. Maybe it's Saturday in your world. Maybe it's not even a day in your world. But today, it's Feedback Friday here in the Mossiverse. I hope you guys are all having a wonderful, wonderful day. We're going to be talking about some work. We're talking about this one next. We just rated Sam Peterson art. It looks like it was a phenomenal raid. I'm so sorry I missed it while I was out getting some water. A bunch of people raided. It was such a good raid. Should I wait for the next weeks before posting? So Casco Live, I open up a new thread about an hour before Feedback Friday every Friday. So there's going to be a new thread every Friday. And then what we're going to do is ask you guys to post the work about an hour before. And it's first come, first serve. Oh, interesting. Ramen, yeah. So this chat is normally PG-13. I don't know why that swear filter is not on right now. Let me check. And it could be Thursday where you live. It could be. I'm not sure. Opt out of globally banned words filter. Interesting. Well, there's gonna be swearing today, unfortunately. It looks like the swear filter is offline. That's fine. The raid was an incredible success. Thank you so much for participating in it. We're talking about Art of Arson's work next. Inspired by Amalith. Fire Dragon, you called it. Art of Arson did this one inspired by Amalith, an incredible broadcaster. And thank you, MTS Wood. I'm not going to worry about it today. Because it's Twitch's fault. There should be a filter for no cursing. Don't worry about it, you guys. Don't worry about it today. But we do try to keep this a positive, constructive atmosphere here on Twitch. You guys are all incredible. I'm just happy you guys are here hanging out. I do try to create a PJ13 environment to the best of my ability. So, if you guys didn't know, creatorsontwitch.com. This is a website we're working on to bring the community together. Today's Friday, so if you go to Broadcaster Announcements and check out the Feedback Friday thread, that's where we're perched in all of our work. I just can't talk today. We just talked about Olivia Goddess, Alien Ton X, and a bunch of other broadcasters, so go check out the thread. You'll find all of the links to their Twitch pages. Please give them follows. Storm, how are you doing, Storm124? And there's Nightbot dropping the rules there. There's Nightbot. Thank you, Nightbot. You are the best follower. The best one. Pigeon Milk, we might not get to this one. We'll see. There's only a few today, so if you guys wanted to upload any of your work to talk about, we still have some time today. Feedback Friday, August 7th. Okay, let's do it. Art of Arson is there. He's hanging out with us. Let's talk about his work. Art of Arson. Alright, 3 minutes. Where's my clock? Oh no. Oh no. Hang on a sec. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, I got my clock. Okay. Val dudes, what are you doing on my phone? Boom. Alright, 3 minutes, here we go. Turn on my webcam. Here we go. So one of the awesome things here is you can instantly tell you're inspired by Amalith's work. Not only because you have the island, which is iconic of Amalith's work down here, but you can tell just in the treatment of the clouds, the subtle colors, that you're really inspired by her work here. I love the character. I love the creature that you have going here. Really, really cool stuff. I love all the colors you're putting here as well. You're not just going and saying, okay, this is going to be a brown island. You're using blues, you're using purples, reds. I really like all the colors you're using in here. The light source does seem like it gets a little different in places. I'm trying to read where the light source is coming from, because this seems like it's a secondary light source, and the main one is maybe hitting it from above. So one thing to think about is, especially with something like the bowler hat, which is going to be really close to this one, but it's still going to be affected by that greater light source. So something to think about. I like that the focus is right in on that character. My eye is drawn into the face, drawn right into the light, the eye. I love that dark circle. It really gets, it really brings a really nice composition into it. Really dig that. You wore your anteater hat. Great character. I love the cane. I love all of the elements in here that really give it that nice narrative without having to throw that narrative in your face and say, this is what it's about, this is what it has to be about. Yeah, MTS Wood, I would agree. There's something with the light of the lamp. I think you could either make shadows more pronounced, like maybe you give the shadows more pronounced here on the other side of the anteater, or you can make that light more intense on the left here. I don't think you have to do both. You don't have to do both, and you also don't even have to do it. But since you have that light source right there, and it's going to be right behind, I think you do want to have it impact, like how it's impacting the hat here. Maybe bring some of that kind of same effect on the nose, and maybe just on the left part of the body. He's very, very cute. I do agree. I do agree, MTS Wood. Loki, we are talking about Art of Arson's awesome work. Art of Arson, if you have any specific questions, let me know. Consider a consistent light source, but beyond that, I would say that the design of the character is really good. The composition is phenomenal. I love the colors, and it's instantly readable as an Amalith piece. Instantly readable. I almost thought Amalith had posted something for us to look at today when I was first scrolling by and I saw it. Alright, it's also 2 o'clock, so I wanted to remind you guys, take a moment to put those keyboards down, stretch out your arms. You don't have to have a dance party every 30 minutes, but you do want to make sure you take a moment to breathe. Welcome back, Proper Artist. What we're doing here, Feedback Friday. If you guys have any work you want to post for Feedback Friday, ba-bam. Hoping for foggy night. Ah, great stuff. Love the background. Really love the background. Okay, fine. Detectable Smite, you should be able to reset your password on there. I'm not sure. I haven't done it yet. And Proper Artist, you can definitely submit your Harley stuff if you want. We only have 2 pages right now, so we'll be able to get to it. Mob Boss Editing, are you out there, Mob Boss Editing? Choose a random one. Simple drawing from Crispy Drov. Crispy Drov. Oh man, that's cool. So Mob Boss Editing and Crispy Drov. Are you guys out there? Are you guys out there? Yo, bro. Yeah, there he is. Awesome. Cool. Kablam, kablam. Okay, so this is Hollywood Undead Boy, also known as Mob Boss Editing. He works with photos and edits them to give it his own color treatment. 3 minutes on the clock, 3 months on the clock, 3 months to give a crit. I love the textures that you have in here. It almost looks like you've added a few of the textures to really emphasize the rain. The colors are phenomenal. It looks like... So, was this originally a drawing... a drawing in the rain, or did you add that rain effect? Because I think the rain effect is really, really making it pop out. I really like the subtle changes between the yellow and the green that you have inside the character. And what's nice is the character reads as very neutral character until you see the face, and then you read the face and you say, "Oh my gosh, this is not a human." I really like that the effect you have on the outside that kind of frames that center character. My eye is actually really drawn, unfortunately, it's drawn to this, which I think is supposed to be the horizon line. I think this is supposed to be the horizon line. One thing you could do is maybe just try getting rid of it. Let's just try. I actually like that a lot better. So the problem I had with that line down here is it's the only perfectly straight line in the entire piece. And my eye was like instantly drawn to it. You can just get rid of it. Boom. Really like that rain effect. It's got some great texture in it. I can't wait, Hollywood Undead Boy, until you start making your own work and then start doing some color editing on your own work. Like maybe you do some photography and you do your own work. Because it's hard for me to talk about things like the composition because I know that you took another piece and you edited the colors and added texture and stuff like that. It's supposed to be like a sidewalk, yeah. One thing is, right when you said that, I got the feeling of looking into a reflection and it staring back at me, so it definitely gets that feel across. Great textures, really like the colors, great composition, really great stuff. Hollywood Undead Boy, let me know if you have any questions. Good stuff. I love that blue, the blue that's just all over. It gives it that really calm, but also almost anxious kind of feeling. It's like, well, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I have no idea what's gonna happen. Alright, Hollywood Undead Boy, let me know if you have any questions. Let's see how many more pieces we have. We only have a few left. Crispy Trov, are you out there? Crisco the Best? Crisco the Best. Are you out there, Crisco the Best? You might be lurking. Awesome, Undead Boy, and I'm here every Friday. Please feel free to submit your work. We would love to see your original work as well, even if it's just a photo you took and that you edited. It would allow me to talk more about things like composition and working with the original work. It's a lot easier to talk to the original artist. But great stuff. I love what you're doing with the colors. Crisco, Crisco, you're here. Crisco. Awesome. And on Hollywood Undead Boy, I think I'm gonna stick with the one for each artist. If anyone else has any works, this is the last one on here. If you submit it soon, we're gonna get it in there. Otherwise, I'm just gonna take a break because that would actually be good for me, for my arms, to take a break before 6 p.m. Pacific, because 6 p.m. Pacific, do you guys know what's happening? we're doing a talk show. We did the first talk show, the very, very first talk show last Friday. We're going to be doing the second talk show, which is all about the female creators. So if you're a female broadcaster in the music, creative, programming, or game development sections, we're going to have you on today to talk about your channel, talk about your inspiration as an artist. If you guys have any questions you want to post, please post them on here. Please keep them general so that any broadcaster can answer them. Don't make it about gender. Just because we have female broadcasters on there doesn't mean it has to be gender specific. And if you know any female broadcasters, especially if they're live right now, make sure you tell them that in a few hours, in about 3 hours and 45 minutes, we're going to be doing the talk show. Awesome, Destructible Smite. We're going to have a few left here. We're going to have a few left. Alright, so we're talking about Crisco. Crisco the best. And thank you so much, Hollywood Undead Boy, for sharing your work here today. Absolutely appreciate your awesome stuff, Crisco. So, one of the things that makes it hard to talk about people's work is taking a photograph that doesn't accurately represent the work. So what I'd always recommend to you guys, post-processing, if you can't take a good picture, if you can, make sure the lighting is good, make sure that it emphasizes your drawing. And the post-processing that you can do, you can change the brightness and the contrast. So you can actually see it. And also, if you do post your work to Feedback Friday, high resolution, the higher resolution, the better. Alright, Crisco, let's talk about this. Crisco. 3 minutes for you, Crisco. Crisco the best, are you a streamer? That's the first question. Do you stream creative content here on Twitch? And did you do this from life or from photo? That's another question to ask as well. Great design on the still life. You really have everything framed really nicely on the page. I love the, you know what, I did a little too much of that brightness contrast. We're gonna tone it down a little bit. There we go, that's a little better. Well, sometimes, oh my gosh, Crisco, well, 'tis an honor to meet a fellow streamer. Followed you. So it's kind of hard for me to see all the details. You've put a lot of details into the reflections and the shadows. I can tell that. It's kind of hard to tell from the photo because of the resolution. But you do have the areas of shadow, the drop shadow. It's a really nice job on the drop shadow here, especially at having it wrap over the surface to get that, that fold right there. Nice job on getting the reflected lights, the specular highlights, all of those lights on there. One thing that I do notice right off the bat is it seems like you've spent a lot of time, or maybe just you spent a lot of the dark colors developing the one on the left. Try to bring some of those darker colors, like this really dark right there, onto the other shapes as well. So maybe on the side of the ball, or the cast shadow right here, maybe you darken it up a little bit. And Crisco, don't apologize about the webcam quality. I know there's restrictions out there. I'm just saying I wish I could see the real piece. I wish I could hold it right in front of me. Make sure you have the same treatment on all of the objects, like I said. So like you could bring the dark maybe into the shadow over here and in this cast shadow. And it might just be the lighting on the photo that makes it look that way. And also with areas like this, you have the top part right here. The plane is a little different. So if you wrapped a box around this plane, it would actually be a different box than if you wrapped it around this plane. It looks like the top one is just a little bit of an angle. Very nitpicky, but when you do a still life, you do want to make sure that when I go to define this cylinder, that it's equal on all sides. It seems like it dips a little bit in the front here. And it also has a little bit of that football shape to it. Even when you start taking a circle and you bend it towards the viewer, that circle that you're going to see is never going to be a football shape. You're going to have that curve here. So you always want to make sure that you have the curve defined on the edges to give it that cylindrical shape to it. Crisco, let me know if you have any specific questions. Great job on this, great composition. The great thing about these studies is that you're writing this into your muscle memory. You're writing this into your eyes, into how you see things. So every time you do a study like this, it's going to make you a better artist. It's going to make you a better photographer, whatever medium you actually work in. Great stuff, man. Thank you so much for sharing. Detectable Smite. Oh, awesome. Let's do it. Let's do it. Perfect. Okay, yeah, I did. Okay, so 2 senseless. Posted on the subreddit. Reddit Gets Drawn. Oh my gosh, I used to draw under Reddit Gets Drawn. What a wonderful subreddit. Okay, okay. So whose is this one? 2 senseless. 2 senseless. And Crisco, thank you so much for sharing. I just followed you. Please give him a follow. Awesome, awesome dude. Regret Truth, how are you doing? I was taking a little bit of a break. I took a little bit of a break, but even when I do take breaks, I will be back for Feedback Friday and the talk show. We're going to be doing a talk show here in a few hours. Man, this piece. Wonderful life to it. Wonderful emotion. Alright, we're going to put the timer on. I don't know why I'm speaking like this. 30 minutes on the clock. Let's go! So the first thing that hits me is that incredible emotion, and that your eye is just drawn right into the face, and that expression of like insanity. It's like this insane kind of look to it. You've got really nice different treatment of all of the surfaces. You're not just using one line weight to define the forms. You're not just using one color or one value to define things. You're using a multitude of values. Like the line work is this really nice etched feel, like almost like you're etching into a plate. The gray is a really great way to define the form. I really like that you've left areas white. You didn't have to go back and do white paint on it. You planned it out and said this is going to be the area of highlight. And you even leave some texture in there, which is really, really nice, especially in the hair. Very well planned out. Really, really cool job on it. I'm trying to think of something constructive to say besides awesome, awesome stuff. The only thing that I could really say, I'm not sure what this is. Like, I can't instantly read this form and say that's the shirt or that's the chest. I'm not sure why I'm having a problem reading it. It might be that all of this is kind of in shadow and there's no detail around it to connect with it. Even if it was just like a few areas where that gray came up here to say, oh, that's actually a fold in the shirt. I'm actually not sure why I'm having such a hard time reading it. It's supposed to be her leg. Okay. Yeah, for some reason I'm having a hard time reading it. It almost seems like there needs to be like a highlight on there. Like maybe you took this highlight and said, oh, okay, the light's going to catch it on this side. And then maybe you round the knee off. But for... It's hard to... I mean, you don't need to. You don't need to see it. It doesn't take away from the piece at all. But it's one of those things that you look closer into it and you say, well, I don't know... Is the leg coming up from down here. Is this the leg? Oh, is this the leg? That might be it. And that's not something you have to go back and try to butcher and dissect this piece to try to fix. It's something to think about on your next one. It's not taking away from it at all on this. It's supposed to be your leg. And Too Senseless, it's obviously it's my opinion. And it's my fault that I can't read it. That's exactly what it is. But you have all of the really nice forms defined, like in the hand. Here you have marks that kind of wrap around the form. I think the reason this is reading as, or I'm having a hard time reading it, I think it's because all of the marks on here are pretty much flat. They don't define that this is a rounded leg. They don't define both sides of it like you do. You take the time to do that on the hands. But great work. I mean, incredible line work, incredible details in the face. I love the wash that you've used to define the background in a really abstract way, but also to tie it into the foreground. Hello, Marky! Mark DeBong, how you doing, Mark DeBong? Yeah, and Too Senseless, I think I get that. I think I get that from the photo. It must have been kind of an awkward pose. But phenomenal job on it. Especially, I didn't even say this, especially phenomenal job on the different surfaces. You have these really nice specular highlights, a really flat gray for the slime, I want to say. And Too Senseless, thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing this. Are you a streamer? Do you stream creative content here on Twitch? And Proper Artist, I absolutely agree. The details in it are phenomenal. I mean, let's just zoom in on this hand. Let's just zoom in on this hand for a second. Look at how the lines follow the entire form. I mean, you have lines that trace this way. You have lines that trace this way. You have ones that go over the form like that. I mean, it's just incredible detail. You're new. Well, everybody, please help me out here. Follow Too Senseless. I haven't followed them. Oh, no, I have. I have followed you. Okay, wonderful. We'll give you a follow train. Great way to build up that user base, especially when you're starting out. And you already have future commissions lined up, it looks like. It looks like Dire Striker is ready to line up a submission for you. Great stuff. Absolutely dig it. Absolutely dig it. Alright, let's go on to the next one. Tim! Oh yeah, so I remember this Tron one. I remember the Tron one. I was only able to give you like a 5-second crit on it if I remember. And Nebu. We have Nebu coming up. So I'm going to close it out. We're going to do Nebu, and if we could do one more. Nebu, and then we could do one more. So I'm going to do Tron Bike. We're going to do Nebu. And then we're going to do one more after this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break, relax my arms, and then we're going to go into the talk show later today. And Too Senseless, thank you so much for sharing your work. Absolutely an honor to take a look at what you're doing. Absolutely incredible. Weens Fly, you're having a hard time posting? Oh no. You do have to make an account. You can upload it to Imgur, imgur.com, and then post a link. You could also tweet it out, and then copy the link to the tweet and just put it in there in the post. Alright, 3 minutes on the clock, and then we're doing this one and another one today. Boom, 3 minutes. So, I think what I talked about last time was the incredible motion you have in this. You have this really nice sense of motion shooting out from the right there, and then you also have a really wonderful reflection down here. It instantly reads as Tron. You don't even need this. You don't even need it to say, hey, this is Tron. The image reads really well. I really love the subtle blue you're using here. The blue is absolutely incredible that you're using there. Too senseless. I'm so glad that you're a part of it. We're doing some incredible things. Check out creatorsonTwitch.com where we're doing community projects. We have a stream team called the Creators now. And if you're a female broadcaster, there's also the Design Dolls. We're trying to do stuff to bring streamers together. All right, back to the crit. Oh no. Boom. Wonderful sense of motion. One thing you could do with the motion, you have this light on here, this white. One thing you could do, since Tron is really colorful, it's got a lot of different light sources. You might consider taking this white and trying out different colors for the highlights. Let's try it. Try like a blue. So you already have all the details in there. You already have all of that information there. You could just create a new layer above it and colorize and play around with making the highlights these different colors to give it that really nice sense of that neo retro kind of look that it's everything is in neon almost. And also with the the movement here, you could also bring in some more of the highlights, like maybe you bring in some yellows, some really bright yellows to get a sense of movement here. Because right now you have that really nice transition between the yellows, the oranges, and the red, but they're all about mid-tone. They're all, let me see. Yeah, they're all about mid-tone. They don't get up into that brightness. You could always push the brightness in some areas to get that sense of motion. I also think you can do the same thing with the highlights even on the tires as well. And what that's going to do is that's going to make the work that you've already done look even better. If you have that contrast between a bright highlight and the dark shadow, it's going to really make it pop out. And it's really going to give that color a really nice, unique identity. Timer is up. Detectable Smite, let me know if you have any other ideas, any questions. Casco Live, I hope you have a wonderful day, you incredible Stardust Meatball. And B. Bartles, you got in just in time. I think you're going to be the last one. Let me check. Let me check. There's a bum. Uh-oh. 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 That's fine. It's not safe for work. It's safe for work, technically. We're fine. No nips. No nips and no sexual stuff, but we're fine. So we're going to do Nebo. Nebo is Dino. Wait, Dino, you are Nebo? You are now Nebu? You're changing your name up too much. Changing your name up. I can't follow. It's framed. But Bartles, no problem. No problem, but Bartles. And Detectable Smite, thank you so much for sharing. This is an awesome piece. You have some really cool colors. I love the movement. The reflection is really well done. Oh, you're not Nebo. Oh. Oh, and we did skip you, Dino. We did skip you, Dino. We did skip you. We could do Dino real fast. We're going to do Dino real fast. Because he submitted one last week. We didn't get to him. Mika's the landscape thing. Yeah, I think I got that. I didn't do this last time. Because I'm a failure. I'm a terrible Stardust Meatball Overlord. Nebula Pro. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna do Dino. We're gonna do Nebula Pro, and then we're gonna do B Bartles. What are you doing, Trio Gaming? Have you not been here for Friday? On Friday we do constructive criticism, blatant praise, and giving you guys some inspiration. The Whittler! Oh my gosh, the Whittler's here! You guys, please follow the Whittler. He's an awesome musician here on Twitch. does some incredible stuff in the music section to bring the music section together into one community. Trio Gaming also paints here on Twitch. Give her a follow. Awesome, awesome broadcasters out there. All right, let's get into this crit. 3 minutes. Let's go. Boom. 3 minutes on the clock. Let's do this. So one thing I always tell people, especially when you're starting out with painting, draw from life. If drawing from life means you draw from a photo, if it means drawing from another painting that was drawn from life, or it means going outside and painting from life, not only are you going to be able to learn more about your work, you're also going to learn more about the world around you. For something from drawing from life, you're going to see things like a horizon line. Something like a horizon line would be really beneficial in this drawing to give it a sense of weight, to give your eye that direction and say, this is where the painting ends, and also this is where your eye should move around. Because right now your eye kind of follows this one and it follows this one. So your eye kind of falls off the page here and it wraps around again up here like this. And it kind of goes in this loop right here. So one thing you want to do, what you could do to combat that is maybe define a horizon line for your eye to kind of go back to in the distance. Another thing you could also do, I really like what you did with the sun here, how you have that nice transition from the orange into the yellow. You could even make that yellow more white if you want to give it that nice glow to it. To get that glow of the sun, you really need a bright yellow, a vibrant, bright yellow. Try to draw it all from your head. That's awesome, Dino. And that's one of the ways to say, so what do I know? What do I know here and what don't I know? Another thing you could include in this is some perspective. Maybe you have, like, let's say maybe this is a coastline back here. Maybe this is a coastline with some mountains or something right here like this. You could think about bringing perspective in this by saying, okay, there's going to be some little trees back here. Maybe we're going to have some little trees back here. And then there's going to be some bigger trees up in the front, in the foreground. Things like perspective are really good because it brings your eye from the foreground, which the green is going to be your foreground. And then the farther you go back in the distance, the smaller they're going to get. And that'll help you bring your eye around the painting. It'll help fill in some details. When you have large areas of color like this, you do want something for your eye to go in there and say, oh, this is grass or this is a beach. Yeah, but Bartles, you can bring in some happy trees, absolutely. And Dino, I've been doing this for years, so don't feel bad. Don't feel bad at all. Raffin, thank you so much for the follow. You're an incredible meatball made of stars, and together in the monsters we can do anything with the amalgam of consciousness here on Twitch and the spaghetti strings of the Mossiverse. My phrase is way too long. And the time is done. Boom. Yeah, Dino, so try some trees out. Try drawing in perspective where things are going to be smaller in the back and bigger in the front. And you can see my trees are really simple. They're just the stem or the trunk, and then where the tree is going to come out here. You can go really advanced with your trees, but when you're starting off, you want to start simple. And one thing I always say is work from life. Work from photographs, work from painting outside, work from master paintings. And Trio Gaming 0414 does some awesome happy trees. She does them in oil, if I remember correctly. So you can also check out any of the artists on here and ask them, hey, how do I do trees? How do I do this? B Bartles, one thing you could do is less saturation. I always find I like including an atmospheric effect in my perspective paintings. Where things start to get more and more blue as they go in the back. So there's all sorts of tricks you can use. All sorts of tricks you can use to get your eye to feel like it's fading in the back. Another trick is that things are usually cooler in the back and they're warmer in the front. So you're going to see more reds, more yellows, and in the back you're going to see blues and purples and stuff. And also, that's a phenomenal work for being done in mouse, by the way. Really awesome stuff done with your mouse. I applaud your awesome efforts. All right, Nebu. Nebu, I've already saved yours. Boom. Thank you guys so much for being here today. I know I took a break for a few days. It's more security stability and structure than Flock. Oh my gosh, the Whittler. Awesome. I can't wait to play around with it. I was having so much fun with Flock Draw. Speak like a dungeon master. Raffin, I do say some gibberish things sometimes. I do speak gibberish and random nonsense. So if you don't understand me, it's probably because I'm just saying something totally random. Sig, how to get motivation to end a drawing? Oh my gosh. That is one of the hardest questions for me to answer, mostly because of this. I have a wall of unfinished paintings and drawings and a bunch of stuff I need to work on, so I'm not really the best person to ask. Actually, Sig, that's a good question I can ask later tonight for the talk show. The creators on Twitch talk show tonight. I'm gonna ask that question, Sig. I'm stealing your question for the talk show tonight, where we're gonna be asking female creators, musicians, people in the creative section, programming, game development, and talk show. I'm gonna ask them that question because that's a really good one. All right, Nebula. Nebula, are you out there? It's jargon. Yeah, I do say a lot of jargon. Wait, oops, we're still on the main screen. Oh, absolutely, Nico. I use Corel Painter. I know a lot of people on here use Manga Studio. A lot of people use Photoshop. I would give them all a try. A lot of them have 30-day trials or even longer, and you're able to try out the software because each of them is different. I like Corel Painter because they have too many brushes. There's too many brushes in Corel Painter. I haven't even used them all. So Corel Painter is a really nice one. Manga Studio is really simple. I think it's also pretty cheap. Dino, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Richie said she was going to be streaming, so I am not sure. All right, so we're going to do Nebula. We're going to do Beat Bartles, and then we're going to be done. But we're not going to be done for the day. We'll be back at 6 p.m. Pacific for the talk show. Offer a leasing option like Adobe products. MTS Wood, I'm not sure they've gone over to the leasing model yet. I think their full version is maybe 150. I think it's 150 bucks for the full version, so it's not going to be $1,500, but it will cost some amount of money. Paint Tool Sai is also another one. Thank you, Detectable Smite. All right, 3 minutes. 3 minutes for Nebula Pro 2. Boom. I really like the composition here. You've really thought about foreground and background. You have these really nice design elements in the foreground, but they're not separate. They're not completely separate from the character. They're kind of brought. They kind of bring you into this nice heart swirl of a sash, so your eye goes right into the back, right into the figure. One thing you always want to consider what is the light source. A lot of times the only thing people are going to think about with the light source is the eyes. And that's what you've done. You've done a really good job saying, okay, the light's going to be impacting from the top left there, and this is going to be in shadow, and then the rest is going to have some color information to it. So I find a lot of times people are only going to think about the light when they do their eyes. I would say strive to bring that same light into everything in your drawing, not only into the skin, not only into the hair, but also into the sash, into the stars as well. If you took that same treatment of the eyes and applied it to the star here, you'd not only give it more dimension, you'd also be able to give it form and connect it with the rest of the drawing. So just a few simple marks to say, okay, this is going to be in shadow. There's going to be a light source that's going to push some yellow light, maybe it's white light, on the top here. You're going to bring that really nice sense of form, and it's also going to connect back to the character. You drew a Pokeball. I guess I did kind of draw a Pokeball. So, and another thing you can do with that same highlight, so the light's coming from up here, it's going to hit the skin in the same way. So maybe you're going to have a really subtle highlight on the skin right here, and maybe on the neck, maybe on the cheeks, maybe on the face. Because you've spent that time to say on the eyes, this is where the light's coming in. You can apply that same light to the rest of the drawing, like in the hair here. You might have some areas where that hair catches some of the highlight. Just a few areas, you don't want too many. And another thing with something like hair, you don't want to just go over the edges and say, okay, this is going to be the edge. This is how the hair is going to look like on the edge. You also want to have some areas like maybe the hair crosses over here, and you have just a little detail right there for your eye to view. You want a little detail. You have some texture in here, but you could also think about bringing some of the line work, if you want, of course. That's an opinion. Something you don't have to do. Timer, I know, timer. Let me know if you have any questions. Awesome stuff, really dig the design. Think about your light source. Try to tie in elements of the drawing into the figure as well. Great colors. Alright, so let me see. I think we have one more. We have one more, and then I'm going to take a break. One more. And this one has a butt on it, you guys. This one has a butt. Doesn't mean it's sexual. It's art. It's not breaking terms of service. It's art, you guys. It's an art butt. Art butt. Oops, why make a new one? Why I make new? Let me know if you have any questions. Nebu, thank you so much for sharing your work. It is an absolute honor to see all of you guys, to see the work you guys are making, and to share it with us. On here. Yes, I know, but, it's fine. It's not a nip. It's not sexual. It's an art butt. Art butt hype. And Nebula, thank you so much for sharing your work. Again, thank you. My favorite type of butt. Okay, let's look at the whole butt. Let's look at the whole thing here. Alright, 3 minutes on the clock. Boom. B. Bartles, you are a fantastic artist. I didn't know you were a fantastic artist. Wonderful stuff. Great sense of anatomy. You have a wonderful narrative without having to push that narrative onto people. You have a really great expression without having to show the expression. You have a wonderful line of gesture throughout the whole body. This is actually the perfect example of a gesture drawing. You have this wonderful line of movement throughout the entire piece, and your hips and your shoulders have that contrapposta, that counter pose. Really dig the counter pose here. You also have really nice details, not only in the form, in outlining the form. You bring those details into the figure, allowing your eyes to travel inside the figure as well as following along the forms. There's some anatomy thing here with the shoulder. It's kind of hard to read where that line of the shoulder is. So let's see. You'd raise your shoulder up and tense this muscle. I think it's super close. It's super close. I just think there's 3 elements here. So there's the neck, there's that muscle, and then there's the shoulder. And that's really hard to capture, but you did a really good job on it. One thing you could do is maybe outline the forms a little more, just like that. So you get the sense that there's the shoulder is crunching right in this middle part here. That right there is tightening up and getting kind of crunched away by the shoulder and the neck. It's a three parts coming together, sandwiching that middle part. Art butt. And then with the foot here, so you have your the ball of the foot right there. I think it might be at too much of an angle. I think what you would see is you would see more foreshortening. You'd see that, and then you'd see the toes over here. Yeah, yeah. The twist that you have right here, it almost breaks the illusion of the foot a little bit. I think it's because it turns it just a little too much. I think you'd find you'll have the heel here. You'd really be able to see that heel, and then it would fade off above it like that. B. Bartles, let me know if you have any questions. Absolutely dig your stuff. I cannot believe you've been hiding this from me. You've been hiding from me, B. Bartles. Touch or drop towards the shoulder would do it, although be pushed forward to hold himself up against the wall. Yeah, so towards the shoulder. Yeah, I mean that's a really complicated pose because you're bringing that shoulder up into the neck. It's almost something that I would have to see in order to be able to capture and draw. Yeah, the very complex pose. Really, really good job. This is from 10 years ago. Well, you just broke a rule. Recent work. But B. Bartles, you gotta get back into it, B. Bartles. Gotta get back into it. Look at that art butt. That art booty is telling you... That art booty is just telling you... Just do it! Thank you so much for sharing your work, B. Bartles. No, it's fine. It's fine. Recent for you. If it's recent for you, then that's fine. It's just a way so that we can see recent work on here. I'm going to see if anybody else posted, but I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take a break. We do have another one. MTS Wood. We have MTS Wood. We're going to go MTS Woods real fast. Real fast. And then I'm going to take a break here for about an hour, 2 hours, I think it's going to be. Yeah, it's 3 o'clock. Yeah, it's 3-4 hours. Just do it! Just do it! Close, close, open. So MTS Wood is a woodworker here on Twitch. Wait, I didn't read this. I forgot to read it. If you got time and you still need, here's a quick 5-minute crappy shot. It's a great shot, actually. Painted for your wooden dice tower making. Okay, cool, cool. All right, 3 minutes on the clock, and then we're gonna take a break, and we're gonna do the talk show. 3 minutes, go. First of all, this is an awesome, awesome photo. I don't know why you would say this is a crappy photo. You have this in focus, really nice in focus here, but things like the sword are out of focus, so your focus, your view goes right into the face of the character. Love all the little details you've put on here, all the different colors really make your eye bounce around. The problem I always see with minifigures, with painting anything actually, is people use boring colors. They use grays, they use blacks and browns. I really like seeing all the vibrant reds and blues and yellows you're putting in here. You also have a really nice, maybe it's an enamel or a lacquer. You have a really nice enamel or lacquer that really seals that paint, and that's going to keep that color in there really well. I like that you didn't just do a solid color for the face. You have some really nice areas where the darker color comes through, the grit comes through. The mouth does get a little lost in here. I think for the mouth, even if you took a really tiny brush just to get that shadow underneath his lips, you'd be able to pop out his mouth a lot more. Clear coat, yeah, the clear coat makes it really shine, really gives it that professional look. Trio Gaming 0414, thank you so much for that follow. Trio Gaming, you are a compilation of awesome streamers. Thank you so much. I hope everyone knows who you are, Trio Gaming. Yeah, I think the clear coat is probably the most powerful thing because it just makes it look like uh, a commercialized painted object. It's not just something that you made by hand. It looks like it's got that finished pop to it. The tips on building up colors for the face. It gets muddy as I find the colors I like. One thing I find is I layer the colors as much as possible. So I'll put like purples, and then oranges, and then yellows, and then I'll go on top with the skin tone. You could try doing something like that with a dry brush. Maybe you dry brush on some base coat, like purple or like a blue base coat, and then you slowly build up that skin color over time on top of it. Thank you so much for sharing your work. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Please feel free to ask. You guys are all phenomenal artists. Please give MTS Wood a follow. Follow MTS Wood. He's an awesome woodworker here on Twitch. He's going to get started doing a really cool stream in his studio, also working with reclaimed wood at his home. So give him a follow. Take a look at what he's doing. And let me show you guys what we're going to be doing in 3 hours. 3 hours and 6 minutes. 3 hours and 6 minutes. What we're going to be doing is doing the next Creators Talk Show. Nachon R, thank you so much for that follow, you incredible Stardust Meatball here in the Mossiverse. I've grabbed your consciousness and dropped it into a collective consciousness sitting in a vat of the Mossiverse, which I tap into to create anything here on Twitch. One of those projects I use, tapping into all of the artists on there, is I love showing you guys all the awesome artists. So we do something like Feedback Friday, where we talk about all of the amazing work that you guys are creating, either on Twitch or while you watch Twitch as a viewer or a broadcaster. Or maybe you're just inspired by other broadcasters and sharing it on here. The collective, yes, you guys are all part of the collective. Jellyfish Bunny, I'm so glad you're here. Flaming Neko, unfortunately, that is all for today. On Feedback Friday, I open up a thread here on creatorsontwitch.com. And the thread is open an hour before the show. And what you're going to be able to do is post your work, and it's a first come, first served basis where I look at your work for 3 minutes at a time, and then we talk about it as a group. And you do have to show your own work, so no sharing other people's work. If you do want to share other people's work, just let them know to come in here and share it with us. Monkey Dude, how you doing, Monkey Dude? Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm going to take a break for about 3 hours here. I'm going to see you guys at 6 p.m. Pacific tonight. We're talking about all of the female creators out there like Jellyfish Bunny, Z-Lady Luthien, Richie from the music section. We have so many incredible female broadcasters. Today is going to be all about sharing them with you. And that's what it's all about tonight. And of course, always be respectful, be kind, and constructive, and stay awesome. It's not about you. It's about the collective consciousness here on Twitch. Great stream today. Thank you guys so much. I hope you followed all of the awesome broadcasters. This is the end for Feedback Friday, but it's just the beginning for tonight. I'll be back in 3 hours 3 hours, count them, 3 hours for the Female Creators Talk Show. So we'll see you guys there. I hope you guys have a wonderful rotation. Until I see you guys next time, thank you guys for sharing your work, for being awesome. We're going to go on a raid here. We're going to go on a raid. Who's ready for a raid? If you're ready for a raid, I'll be back. Who's ready for a raid here? Copy that into chat. Okay, we're going to go raid. We're going to go raid this person. We're going to go raid this person here today. We raided them earlier. Yeah, let's do it. We're going to raid them. Okay, so what you copy into chat, ... copy after the ... /me. Copy everything after the /me. We are all Stardust Meatballs. Together we can create anything. Where are we going to go? We're going here. So copy, paste. You can try it out in here. It's supposed to change the color of your text. Boom. So let's drop some love on this awesome broadcaster. Remember, it's Splam. Splam is saying the message once. Not splam is not spam. Splam is saying the message once. Spam is saying it over and over and over again. Just say the message once and then give her a follow. Ready? We're going in. We're going in. I'm going to give her a host. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in 3 hours here. I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rotation out there. Goodbye, all you fine, fine meatballs made of stardust. I'll see you in 3 short hours. Goodbye.